Good evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this, let me check, Friday evening. Our first dash will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. The changes on this evening's card of racing coming up in just seconds. Note there are no changes in races 1, 2, or 3. No changes races 1, 2, or 3. In race number 4, number 6, Sports Duchess is scratched. Race 4, scratch number 6, Sports Duchess. In race number 5, number 2, called in sick, did not race on July the 18th. Note, did not race July the 18th. And number 3, Big Dream Fella, bridle change, blind bridle to blinkers, blind blinkers. Races 6 and 7 have no changes. No changes races 6 or 7. Race number 8, number 7, Boomtown Boy. Shoe change. Aluminum to steel shoes up front. That is, aluminum to steel shoes up front. In race number 9, number 3, My Mother Pearl. Bridle change. Blinkers to blind bridle. That is, blinkers to blind bridle. And number 8, Major League will race from post position 9. Note that number 8, Major League, will race from post position 9. Fante correction. Disregard. That was incorrect. Number 8, Major League. Just back up. Let's back up the tape and pretend I never said that. In race number 9, just the equipment change of 3, My Mother Pearl, blinkers to blind bridle, and I didn't say anything else. In race number 10, it's number 8, Little T, scoring from post position 9. Race 10, 8, Little T, scores post 9. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. I said, once again, reviewing races 1 and 2.
All right.
And race 3. There are no changes. It is currently 16 minutes to post time and time to welcome in our co-host and handicapping expert for this Friday evening, Robert Reed Jr., live from Margaritaville. How are you doing, Robert?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Gary. Hey, it's the weekend, right? We made it to another one, and it always kicks off with racing, harness racing right here at Grand River Raceway. 10 dashes on the card tonight, and I think it's some good betting sequences. I've got quite a few singles mapped out throughout mine this evening, and super excited to see Saint Lads Criminal on the track again. We see him almost every week now. He's won 5 in a row, shooting for 6 straight in race number 8. He's got post 5, facing maybe slightly tougher competition, but I think that he looks good to go, and he's been a real treat to watch. And race 9 caught my attention tonight as well because it's a top condition class for filly and mares on the pace, but it plays out more like a preferred, and even has that designation where the most recent money earners have to work from the outside of the gate, including Major League, who will have post 8 in that one. So looking forward to a great night of racing here at the River. Of course, always kicks off with that popular early pick 5, low takeout, 15% guaranteed pool, $5,000. Gary and I will come back in about 8 minutes to post to break down our suggested wagers for that sequence.
Kids, we've got 2 brand new contests for horse lovers who like to take photos or videos. If you are in grades 5 to 8 as of June 1st, enter the Youth Photo Derby and the Youth Video Derby with your photos and videos of standardbreds. You could win up to $250. The deadline for both contests is August 31st. Whether it's the thrill of horses, crossing the finish line, the joy of the winner's circle, or even horses in the field, as long as it's got a standardbred team, that's what we're looking for. Check out our website for more details, bgracingalliance.ca.
Seven minutes to post to the opener at Grand River Raceway on this fantastic Friday. You know what that means. Time to take a look at the early pick 5 sequence. Guaranteed pool $5,000. Low takeout 15%. Gary and I always go over the sequence and give you what our suggested wagers are. And tonight's, started off with the way we've seen many start off with recently, and that's 2-year-olds. So we've got 2-year-olds on the pace in race number 1. Always a little bit tricky to handicap these types of races. And this time we got a full field, too, of 2-year-old Colts and Geldings on the pace. Interesting looking dash right here. And for me, I've got the 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Should be the, maybe I made a mistake when I take my sentence in. It should be the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. So it says 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Should be the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 to kick it off here. But hey, I'm using 5 of them anyways, right? Thank you very much. Look at that broadcast team already on it. Put the 2 up there for me. 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 in the opener. 9 in the race. I'll be honest. This was a very difficult dash. You've got horses coming in from Mohawk Park. You got first time starters, and made all that more intriguing by the full field as well, with 9 of them going behind the gate. So I'm going deep here. 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Right now, the 7 I was actually impressed with last time, opening off as an even money favorite, but it's post 7, so I just couldn't get too excited about that starting spot. Race number 2, singling up on the 5, Moon Watcher. Thinking this is a big rebound spot for him. Last time he had missed a bit of time between starts. Post 8, got away 9th off the gate. I think he comes back with a vengeance tonight. I'm singling up the 5, Moon Watcher, in race number 2. Race 3, the 1, 5, and 9. I think the 1 and 9 are the logical ones here. Bold bet. I mean, that trailing post, right? We saw a couple of victories with it on Wednesday night. Maybe we see it again tonight. Bold bet, I thought, raced fantastic last time. He'll start from that spot. The 5 Highland Hot Sauce is one that I'm really excited to see. I think that he might be a bit of a price in there, especially in the multi-leg sequence. I'm going to add him in my ticket. So 1, 5, and 9 in race number 3. Race number 4, just the 1 Exotic Dragon. She's stepping up in class. That last victory, though, was so dominant. I thought she'd been bravened up nicely the start before. I think she gets unleashed again tonight from the pole position, and she'll be tough to catch. So we're just going to single up on her. And then in the finale, the money leg of the sequence, well, we're going to go just 2 deep with the 2 and 6. I'm always going to use the 2 called in sick. Everyone knows how fond I am of that horse, but another one making his return that I've also liked throughout his career is the 6, Dalhousie. So 2 deep in there for me with the 2 and 6. Just $6 for a 20-cent ticket for my ticket. Let's see what Gary Guy has in store for us tonight.
Well, I don't spend much more, another 40 cents, $6.40. And, well, in race number 1, I'm going to start off with 4 of them because then we're going to get a little narrow after that. So I have the 1, 2, 6, and 7. Then in the second race, I've got the 5 and the 7 Moonwatcher and Marshall Zukov. And race number 3, just the 1 and the 4 Hope and Pray and Sporty B. So just a couple in there. Race 4, we see it the same way, Exotic Dragon. And, of course, race number 5 also, Called in Sick and Dalhousie. I think those two stand out in that dash. So $6.40.
There's Gary's ticket. So 10 combinations. Oh, wait. 8 combinations for me and Gary to get to the winner's circle together tonight. See if we've got Conley's ticket.
How many do we have that I could win without you?
Oh, probably all kinds, Gary. I mean, geez, look at that. asking me to do this math on the fly here. I can sort it out, but here's Conley's ticket. All right, we've got 2 and 6 in the opening leg. Conley's ready, willing to go a little bit shorter here in this 2-year-old dash to kick us off here. So just too deep for Conley there. And then in race number 2, looks like he's got the 1 signaled, but I don't know if the races are right there. Maybe just the 1 signaled. We got race 5 on top. Now I'm confused, but we're gonna go with. Maybe he's singling the 1 here, Sports Hunter. That might make more sense, I think, because it looks like he'd have the 2-6 on the end there. So he's singling the 1, Sports Hunter here in the opener. There it is. Race 2, the 1, 3, and 7, and not using Moonwatcher. It's a little bit of a surprise. No Moonwatcher for Conley there in race number 2. Horse that I'm fond of tonight. He's got the 4 and 9 in race 3. Like the 9 bold bet in there. Race number 4, he's got the 1 and 3. So he's got the horse that me and Gary both love in there. That's the 1 Exotic Dragon. And then in the money leg, he's got the 1, 2, 3, and 5. So not using Dalhousie, but does have Calden Sick. And I mean, that's a race where I think you either narrow it down to just, Calden Sick and maybe Dalhousie, or you really spread it out. So that's Conley's ticket. But you've got a couple minutes to map out your winning wagers for this early pick 5. Again, the takeout's always a low 15%. Pool guaranteed at $5,000. We'll come back in just a few minutes to take a closer look at this upcoming dash.
Field 4, race 1 on parade 1, Sports Hunter, Gary Rivet for Money Bohannock and Ashley and Matthew Rivet Bohannock. Number 2 is Ace 44 Hawk, Steve Houdan for Colin Densley Burrows. And 3 is Better Than Ever, Mike Horner for Mark Horner and RAW Aquine. And number 4 is Capiche, Scott Golder, Sean Arnott, and Joe Tonelli. And number 5, Murphy Joseph, Jason Ryan for Matt Dupuy and Keith Castle. And number 6, Spin Doctor Hanover, Paul McKenzie for Wayne McKean and David Mercer. And number 7, Harbor Light Ambrose, Daryl Thiessen for Kyle Bossons and Ralph Jardine. And number 8 is World Revival, Anthony Hunt for Mike Crone at Hunt Racing. And 9 is Premier First Star Travis Henry for Anthony Beaton and Robert Jones. Field of 9, race number 1. Let's get a look at this field. And well, right away, Sports Hunter, the one we're going to talk about, is the 5-2 betting favorite. And one that, well, has had a couple of starts, including a start here that wasn't too bad, Rob.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all to start here. I actually, kind of marked him down for next time, thinking he'd be back here. But there was an OSS grassroots event last time for him. He advanced nicely into third to get beat 3 lengths to Shaggy and Champ Kind, who I actually, think exit that race pretty nicely. Um, and again, 29 seconds on the end of it, 58 and 1 back half. And the thing too is his latest at Mohawk Park. I mean, obviously he's in against tougher horses in OSS grassroots event, and I think he made a decent account of himself as well, right? You see that back half, 56 and 2, was kind of fighting to the wire, and this looks like a good spot, especially with pole position. I just thought though this is a kind of a wide open dash, Gary. It obviously made all that more difficult because they're 2-year-olds, but it's hard to kind of make sense of them, right? When they're coming from Mohawk Park, a lot of them are getting beat by a wide margin, where others are now making their first lifetime start.
Well, it'll be interesting to see also if there's some gate speed. Now, you might think that doesn't have gate speed, but last race, whoever was leading, they went to the quarter in 27 and 2, so it wasn't that bad off the gate. There is 7 Harbor Light Ambrose, and what stands out to me was that final quarter in that grassroots.
Yeah, it was 26 and 3. I watched the replay a couple times. Whenever you see that, right, you want to watch it and see, was he like, overloaded with pace? Was he, maybe looking, for room? He was, just trying to stay with horses. They were banging home and he was trying to come home with them. Wouldn't say he was, advancing on the top horses by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a final quarter in 26 and 3. Still shows that the horse has some gears. Of course, he got away 7th off the gate, was backed up to 8th on the turn for home. And I thought it was a decent debut. He took a lot of the early money here. He was even money when the pools opened up. And I wanted to put him on top, but you know why I didn't put him there, Gary. He's got post 7. With trotters, you can kind of think, well, maybe post 7 ends up not being that bad off the gate if some horses misbehave and whatnot. With pacers, not so much. So I put him in the 2nd spot. Just think he's at a huge post disadvantage to my top choice. But I do think he's one you got to keep a close eye on.
Number 6, Spin Dr. Hanover. What did you think about how he was spinning home? Looks fairly decent.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, he was sitting 4th, right? So he's another horse that's kind of ends up kind of fading in the stretch. But we're saying he's fading, but he's still coming home in 28 and 3, which is pretty good speed for who he's up against tonight. So I thought it was we'll say it was a decent effort, against a pretty solid group. And I thought the qualifier was good though. Like the qualifier, I was probably more impressive with his final qualifier July the 1st in that one. And I think that he's another one that if he can get off the gate, and he's already shown he can get away, decently off the gate. If he can do it from post 6 here, gets put into the mix, I think he'll definitely be a big time player. It's all going to depend though, who's trying to leave directly to his inside. The good news for him is he's got 3 first-time starters directly to his left. So maybe one of them doesn't want to go towards the gate, or sometimes they get a little bit fractious beyond the gate. Then he might be able to take advantage of that and get forwardly placed.
I should tell you that number 2, Ace 44 Hawk, was my original top pick, and then I changed it to the 7. Ace 44 Hawk, not much of a trip last time out.
No, it wasn't. It was tough. It was really tough, actually. That was one of the replays that if you watch it up to 3/4, you say, okay, this is going to be my horse, because he had post 7. He ends up being parked the route, and he got within 2 lengths and was fighting on gamely. You see that 3rd quarter was 28 and 3. Now he got tired in the stretch, but what horse wouldn't get tired in that spot? And he faded back to 9th in a race where the horse came from way out of it to win. So I think that if you look at it from an impressive replay standpoint, he probably is the winner there. But I was just trying to figure out what kind of trip he'd get tonight. If he goes to the front, he could be tough to catch. 4-1 on the board right now. He's sporting all kinds of value, Gary.
Well, it is a field of 9, race number 1, first dash on a Friday night as we are gathered at the river, taking up their positions. 2-year-old colts and geldings on the pace. Sports Hunter, Ace 44 Hawk, better than never on the inside. In the center, Capiche and Murphy Joseph, with on the outside, Spin Dr. Hanover, Harbor Light Ambrose, and World Revival on the second tier, Premier First Star.
Jesus, Murphy Joseph.
It's a field of 9 for race number 1. There at the start of the rough. Ace 44 Hawk, better than never. Sports Hunter on the inside. Murphy Joseph in the center of the track, and Harbor Light Ambrose on the outside of the field works on around the turn. And right now, grabbing the lead, Ace 44 Hawk, and working on the outside, Mercy Joseph is racing second. Then Sports Hunter is third. On down the backstretch they go. Better than never is fourth, and Spin Doctor ahead of her in front of Harbor Light Ambrose. Then at his back further to Premier First Star, and Capiche and World Revival is trailing the field. Ace 44 Hawk leads as they race their way past that opening quarter in 28 and 2. Ace 44 Hawk leads on the turn, and then Murphy Joseph is second, and Sports Hunter is third. Better than never is racing fourth. Spin Doctor ahead of her. Harbor Light Ambrose is racing sixth, and angles to the outside as they race their way off the turn. But right now it is Ace 44 Hawk who's got the lead as they race their way up towards the half, and that lead is about 2 lengths right now. Sports Hunter hunting for the front, then Murphy Joseph on the inside, to the outside better than never. Then Spin Doctor ahead of her, and Harbor Light Ambrose as they work their way on into the backstretch, and then scooting up the inside is Premier First Star. Then it is back to Capiche and World Revival. Ace 44 Hawk leads as they hustle on towards three quarters. Ace 44 Hawk, Sports Hunter on the outside, has a share of second. Murphy Joseph inside third, better than never. Now is coming on gamely. Better than never is moving of a half of 59 and 1. Better than never is coming on. Three quarters, 128 and 2. Better than never, and Ace 44 Hawk. And then charging from the backfield, Capiche is coming on. Sports Hunter on the inside. Murphy Joseph, and now coming late is Harbor Light Ambrose. And the field turns for home. Better than ever has got the lead as they come on down the stretch drive. Better than never, Harbor Light Ambrose, and on the outside, Capiche. Better than never wins it. Harbor Light Ambrose was second. Then it was Capiche, and Premier First Star won 58 and 1. Race number 1, an interesting dash. These 2-year-olds are hard to handicap, and well, we just got to see it.
Yeah, and you know what, Gary? The funny thing is about this is that how ironic is it? I asked them to correct the ticket, and the horse that they put up there by mistake was actually the winner. So I would have looked like a real hero if I just went with it. I guess it was a good sign because better than never, the winner here. And look, I watched that qualifier, Gary, a bunch of times, and I was actually, kind of thinking this horse has a little bit of go late in the mile, but was steppy. I thought looked steppy at many times. Obviously, there's been some tinkering done, and man, oh man, nice wide move there. On the outside, final turn came off it a little bit wide, but certainly opened up and won like a good thing. So much the best winner for the three, better than never. I mean, no excuses everywhere else, really. I mean, it wasn't like anyone got hampered with a bad trip or anything. This horse just went out there and was much the best at 25 to 1.
Didn't your dad tell you you never change a ticket?
Yeah, he did. We talk about that, and I should have just. I mean, they were helping me. They were trying to give me the winner. They were trying to, make me to be this big hero with a 25 to 1 shot on the ticket, giving everyone a, hope and dream in the early pick 5. And hey, I took it away. Hopefully, someone just saw it blind and played it. But no, listen, this horse, and I said it a lot at Western Fair. When Mike Horner sends them out, they always come ready to play. And I guess I just didn't listen to that advice here, nor the advice of my father to never change a ticket when a mistake is made.
Number 7, Harbor Light Ambrose, just started up too late.
Yeah, I think one we'll have to keep an eye on, right? Because we both thought that, that last quarter was impressive in that last race at Mohawk Park and got rolling, kind of late. I mean, I don't know if it really mattered with how good the winner was, but yeah, one we'll watch for next time. Draws inside, but we can jump all over that one.
It's a 3749 top 4. And number 3, better than never, 25 to 1, coming back in front of us. A 2-year-old better than Shetter Bay Cold, owned by RAW Equine and Mark Horner. Mike Horner, the trainer and the winning driver, better than ever, 158 and 1. the first race payouts, three better than ever. 53.90, 1940, 940, 7 Harbor Light Ambrose, 635.64 Capiche, 890, $2 exactor, 171.20. Dollar try, 1707.65, 20-cent super. Note the numbers 374 all. That's 374 all. $500.33. The first race, so we finish from the top down, 561 378 294. That's 561 378 294.
Better than never with the upset in the opener. Upset to the tune of 25-1. Going to send a lot of pick fives to the floor, including mine and Gary's. Look, if you're out like we are, time to jump in on the early pick four. Well, either way, might as well jump in on the early pick four. Getting started right here. We had a great shot, by the way, of Moonwatcher a moment ago there on the. There he is, handsome son of He's Watching. Horse that I've got pegged as a big rebound candidate tonight. I think he comes right back with a vengeance this evening after 8-hole last time. Always tough from out there. But there's my pick four ticket. Early pick four, guaranteed pool, $2,500. Low takeout, 15%. I'm singling Moonwatcher. He was so impressive on that win streak. He really was. He's already got a couple of victories at this level, few victories at this level. And I think he's going to come right back at it now that he gets back on a regular rotation, better post to work from. And even the smaller field should help him as well because he's a type that's kind of versatile, right? He can attack them in the middle stages of the race or he can come from out of it. Smaller field likely only further helps his chances in here. 8-5 right now. He's a big single for me. Race number 3, the 1, 5, and 9. Intrigued by the 1, Hope and Pray. Shipping in from Truro, working from the rail. Looks like he's got all kinds of speed from there. I think it only helps the chances of the 9, Bold Bet. Also kind of like the 5, Highland Hot Sauce. There's a bomber in there. First start with Brett McDonald aboard as well. So 1, 5, and 9 for me in race number 3. Just the 1, Exotic Dragon. Thinking she goes out there and does her thing again on the engine in race 4, stepping up a level. But I think she should be good in there. And then, of course, in race 5, the 2 and the 6. The 2 is Called In Sick. The 6 is Dalhousie. Two horses that I've been fond of for quite some time. Obviously, Called In Sick will have a fitness advantage over Dalhousie, who has not raced since February. But there's my ticket, just $1.20. We're going to kind of do that through most of the night here. My tickets will be on the affordable side. Because I do think there's some spots we want to kind of play it thin. There's Conley's ticket. He's spreading it a little bit more, right? 1, 3, and 7 in here, not using Moonwatcher. The 4 and 9 in race number 3, and then the 1 and 3 in race 4. So using Exotic Dragon, adding in My Only Sunshine, the 3. Race 5, he's going 4 deep. Using Called In Sick, not using Dalhousie, probably on the angle that, first start back. He's also going to use Almost There Boss, the 1, the 3, Big Dream Fella, and the 5, Sports Section. $9.60 for his ticket. But there they are, coming out onto the track for race number 2. We'll come back in just a few moments to take a closer look at the second race of the night.
Field 4, race number 2 on parade. 1, Scribblers, Jason Ryan for Paul Reed and the Can-Am crew. Number 2 is Teen Tatler, Garrett Rooney for George McClure and Catherine McClure and Ruth Hasty. Number 3, It Takes Two, Lauren House for Scott McNiven and Kimberly McNiven and Donald Douglas. And 4, Payline, Travis Henry for Steve Charlton and Roderick Gillis. And 5, Moonwatcher, Dan Meegans for Janice Van Nest. Number 6, Chief Corleone, Scott Golder for Jack Moisev and High Stakes Incorporated and LSC Stables. And number 7 is Marshall Zukov, Brett McDonough for Richard Moreau and Michelle Legacy. Field of 7, race number 2. Let's get a look at this field. And number 5, Moonwatcher, is the one the fans want to watch first. And your top pick, but not mine. 6-5 on the board and probably going to drop from there.
I mean, I think, the 6-5 or even a bit shorter is probably the right price, Gary, because, look, last time we know it, post 8, what do? Strike that line right off the program page. Got away 9th off the gate, more than 21 lengths away from the leader at the quarter pole. Only took support to 8-1 in that effort. And we always talk about the inflated price when you're starting out there. Hadn't raced in a little bit of time as well after being scratched on July the 7th. Had won 3 in a row before that. And those were dominating victories. I just think that he comes right back and does his thing to get the job done. And he's proven he can do it from off the pace, just off the pace, on the front end. If that's so is the desired trip tonight. Looks fantastic on the track right now. Handsome son if he's watching, and I think that 7-5 right now is actually a decent price. I really do. You're right though; it'll probably drop come post time.
Number one, Scribblers, I think, is one that could be interesting, but the last time this one had post one, it wasn't interesting for long.
No, it wasn't. Made a break and stride at Clinton Raceway, and I thought maybe he had a bit of a shot to land somewhere underneath Ace of Aces there. He was a big favorite. I was on the Coza TV broadcast, and Mark McKelvey asked me, "Oh, who do you like underneath?" I said Scribblers, and it was over pretty quick for him. Made a break behind the gate from the pole position. He has it again tonight. Now, I think that was just kind of a one-off, that miscue from the rail, and I think tonight we'll see something better from him. He's a half-mile specialist type, and he does have early foot off the gate. So I think he's a good one to use underneath. I think he's going to try to go forward off the switch. Last time, that flat line under his belt, post 7 here, getting away 8th, closed up nicely for 4th. So he'd be my main player underneath right now, but it's playing out that way in the odds board. He's only 4-1.
Next up is number 7, Marshall Zukov, and clearly this is a horse that between the two of us, we have a different general opinion about this horse, but I was very impressed last time out.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a different opinion. I've got him pegged for 3rd. I know you've got him on top. But I just thought that, yes, it was a better effort last time, but that's still known as a 16,000 life. Now, granted, against St. Lad's Criminal, who we think could probably step up to this level and be victorious. I think we'd both be in agreement on that one. But Moonwatcher's kind of a battle-tested horse, right? So I don't think that this is an easy task for Marshall Zukov. He's also moving out to post 7. Like I said before, he's a horse that's, at times has a tricky time getting around a half-mile surface, despite, having that really nice season last year, competing on shorter tracks through most of it. I've also seen him, throw in some real strange efforts because he can't, stay on his gate all too well. But better last time, so I think he's going to keep trending in the right direction. But I do think this is a very tough test tonight against Moonwatcher.
I think St. Lad's Criminal would be 1-9 in here, but that's just my opinion. Number 3, It Takes Two, is one that, the recent form's pretty solid. That was a good effort here.
Yeah, it was. Really, you said the form's solid. You look up and down the page, and is there not to like, really, right? Last time was second to better half. Now, that was kind of a strange race. You remember the winner came up the inside for the victory, came up the inside in the final turn. So he kind of got the advantage over this one. So this one kind of got the unfortunate end of that trip. Second before that in the Prospect Series at Dresden against Crazy World, who is a pretty good horse in their own right. So you look up and down the page and you see tactical speed as well, right? That's what It Takes Two has going for him. I think if he gets away forwardly placed, off the switch, he can certainly get a big piece of this. 5-1 right now. He's taking support closer we get to post time, but I think he's one you have to have underneath in your exotics.
You know who I think is dangerous in here is for Payline, dropping down a level, was second above this class, 2 back.
Yeah, Payline, I was one that I was going to have in the 3rd or 4th spot and ended up leaving him off it. Just kind of wanting to see, what he does tonight. He's kind of a horse that sometimes goes towards the front, other times is racing from off the pace, and I wasn't too sure what the game plan would be tonight.
Well, number 5, Moonwatcher, right now is holding at 6-5. We'll see what the final price is. I think it goes down from there. We'll see. But taking up their position, Scribblers, Teen Tatler, and in the center, It Takes Two, Payline, Moonwatcher. On the outside, Chief Corleone and Marshall Zukov. It's a field of 7. It is race number 2. Field for the second race. Comes into the stretch drive, field of 7, taking up their positions in behind the gates. They're at the start and they're off. Scribblers, Teen Tatler, and It Takes Two. Chief Corleone now driving on the outside, Marshall Zukov, and then it is back to Payline. Moonwatcher is back trailing the field early. Right now it is Scribblers who's got the lead, Teen Tatler. It Takes Two, Chief Corleone, Payline, Moonwatcher, and now Marshall Zukov is trailing. They race on to the opening quarter, and it is Scribblers at 9-5 who's got the lead, about 2 1/4 over Teen Tatler. It Takes Two right now has taken the 3rd spot. Then Chief Corleone and Payline, Moonwatcher, and Marshall Zukov. 28 seconds, the opening quarter, as the field will work their way around the turn. Scribblers will look to get a second panel breather in front of Teen Tatler. It takes two, and now Payline's going to pop to the outside. Then Chief Corleone, Moonwatcher, Marshall Zukov, and the field heads up towards the half, and Scribblers and Jason Ryan. It takes two to the outside. Now's come on and take it over second. Teen Tatler is third, and Chief Corleone. Then Payline, Moonwatcher, and Marshall Zukov is going to take the short way round the turn, and now moves in front of Moonwatcher, who's back to second from last, and Payline is trailing the field. On down the backstretch they go. And it is Scribblers who's got the lead. It takes two is racing second. Then third is Teen Tatler. Marshall Zukov on the outside now has moved up and has a share of fourth at Chief Corleone. And then it is back to Moonwatcher and Payline. But Scribblers, as they race by three-quarters Scribblers, it takes two. Now Marshall Zukov is coming hard but has work to do. And then it is back to Teen Tatler. Chief Corleone and Moonwatcher is kicking in late. Scribblers as the field turns for home. Scribblers, and it takes two, and Marshall Zukov. Scribblers as they come to the finish. Scribblers is going to win it. It takes two. Then Marshall Zukov and Moonwatcher. 155 flat, race number two. Well, that was a little different than the way I thought it would be, but at least it was your second choice Scribblers that gets the job done, Rob.
Yeah, second choice when I single my top choice in the pick four, though, and the pick five was dead, but the pick four was starting off with Moonwatcher keyed. I mean, he got away, originally last off the gate till Marshall Zukov, backed in behind him. And Moonwatcher just never really, came forward with much authority. But the problem is, Gary, 28, 58 and 1. What chance do him or Marshall Zukov have at that point? Not much at all is the answer. And Scribbler's a horse that has proven to be kind of a half-mile specialist with speed. This time around, minds his manners from the pole position, goes to the lead and chops it out. That second quarter came up. I said, oh, he's going to be tough to beat. And of course, he comes in as a winner as a second choice at 9-5.
Yeah, not a lot of consolation that I managed to get Marshall Zukov in front of Moonwatcher, third over fourth. Like, so what?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones too where I thought Marshall Zukov raced pretty well, all things considered. Looked pretty smooth out there for most of the mile. Just another one that's at a big pace disadvantage, right? It's you've got a horse that's got all that speed, and we always talk about it. We want to be on horses that are going to the lead. They can be forwardly placed over the surface, especially when you see that second quarter breather click up. Because I mean, at that point, we know they're going to be sprinting the rest of the way. First half was 58 and 1. The back half's 56 and 4. So what kind of chance do they have at that point? Not much.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at the fractions afterwards, you'll realize, that both of those would have come at least 56 back half because they still had quite a bit of ground from them back.
Yeah, and they made up quite a bit, like you just said. So, I mean, I think the funny thing is both go back on the watch list, but, we're probably going to meet again, right? Moonwatcher versus Marshall Zukov.
Well, we'll see which way we go with that. But back in front of us, the winner, it is one Scribblers, 3-year-old sports rider Brown Gelding, owned by the Can-Am crew, trained by Paul Reed. Jason Ryan's the winning driver. Third win this year, fifth lifetime Scribblers, 155 flat. The second race payouts: 1 Scribblers, $583.60, $270. 3 It Takes Two, $5, $320. And 7 Marshall Zukov, $350, $2 exact, or $23.30. Dollar try, $51.35. Dollar super, $111.90. And the double of 3 and 1, $140.50. Second race so her finish from the top. 1527463. That's 1527463. Field for race number 3 is on parade. One is Hope and Pray, Chatham for Dr. Ian Moore and Wayne Webby. Number 2 is Redland Wrangler, Paul McKenzie for Stephen Charlton and Kathleen Charlton and Redland Farms. 3 is on the regular, Daryl Cheeson for Kyle Bostons and Frank Brundle. And number 4 is Sporty B, Scott Goldiver, Jack Moisev, and High Stakes Incorporated, and Mark Main Prize and Nancy McNevin. And number 5, Highland Hot Sauce, Brett McDonough for Michelle Bowen. 6, Sunny Beach Boy, Anthony Hunt for Jerry Duford and Homestretch Holdings and Lloyd and Barbara Tiley. Number 7, Money on the Beach, Ryan DeBrosh for Mike Revan, Gary Turbide. 8 is All Bets on Fritz, Terry Fritz drives and trains and owns. And number 9 is Bold Bet, Jason Ryan for Ken Roy Scaife, a field of 9 for race number 3. That's, let's get a look at this field. And right away, well, Rob, you're now Mr. Trailer Post guy.
Yeah, I am. I'm a big fan of the trailer post now after we saw a couple winners on Wednesday night. No, it's one of those ones, though, Gary. It's a situational play, right? Because I thought Bold Bet was really good last time. I mean, ended up getting away 4th off the gate, went first over, kind of battled Sunny Beach Boy for a bit, but you could tell who was going the better of the two. And when he was asked to move on, he paced on to win with ease, 56 flats. So I thought it was a real solid effort from Bold Bet on that occasion. And just looking at it and thinking, well, he's behind a horse that shows a lot of speed, right? The rail horse Hope and Pray. So if he can just get away reasonably well off the gate, he might get away in the same spot even as last time. Maybe 3-hole, 4-hole. Maybe he comes first up again and just does what he did in that most recent effort. So I couldn't go against him. I thought he might go off in an inflated number because of the post, but it's not happening right now. 2-1 on the board.
And I noticed for your second choice, you like yourself some hot sauce.
Oh, yeah, I love hot sauce, by the way. We talk about food a lot on this broadcast, and I do love me some hot sauce. But that's not why I picked Highland hot sauce. Well, first time Brett McDonald on the bike, got to like that, right? And second, career start at the age of 5. Ended up, qualifying, once as a 2-year-old, made a break in stride, and then resurfaces, 3 years later. And for a horse to kind of hang around and want to come out and race, you'd have to think there's something there. And I thought that last one was a sneaky good effort. I really do. Got away 3rd off the gate, ended up getting shuffled back, and had pace in the stretch. Kind of had to get around one that was dawdling in front of him, stick handled a little bit. 29-2 on the end of it. Got beat 6 lengths to Bold Bet. I'm intrigued by this one. Post 5. Think there's a little bit of speed off the gate as well if he wants to use it. So 10-1 right now. I think there's worse 10-1 shots you can get behind.
Number 1, Hope and Pray, is the one that has got all of my hopes. And, I'm intrigued to see this one from Trower. First start for Dr. Ian Moore.
Yeah, you gotta like the connections, no question about that. You've got Doc Moore training, Tyler Moore on the bike, and this horse shows some good gears. Racing at Truro last 2, was a winner by a combined margin of 15 lengths, and the times stack up pretty decent against what he's going to be facing in here and over the surface. Sometimes though you see horses come up from the East Coast and it doesn't translate. I mean, I think in this spot it will. I just didn't wasn't in too big of a hurry to put him on top first time we see him. I thought I'd want to kind of watch one, but he does have the pole position. I thought he was one you had to use in the multis, and I think just based on what he's done before, he's got to be pushing out with authority from the rail.
One of the reasons why I got on Sporty B for second is that was a decent effort last race. Yeah, Bold Bet finished in front of him, but Sporty B, that was the first start off of a pretty lengthy layoff.
It was, and we kind of mentioned too, right? I think this horse may have made the watch list, and now here I go having him in the 4th spot. Better post 6 last time. Now he goes to post 4, and like you said, more importantly, now second start back out after lengthy layoff, so should take a step forward here. 6-1 on the board right now. I just thought that there was some better places to land, and I thought that the winner Bold Bet was that good that he deserved to come back to. But man, oh man, I thought we'd get some value from the second tier. We're not getting that right now at 8 to 5, Gary.
Well, the one that I would have put some money to bring it down was 7 Money on the Beach as my third choice. And those last few races in the Maritimes, they should get some attention.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I think they do. Like, I'm a big fan of racing at Red Shores. Really, any East Coast racing, I follow that too, not just Ontario for yours truly. And the effort, obviously, out there, like two back, was a dominating one, and a horse that I think that you know can be competitive with this group. But I just think post seven, right? Post seven, difficult task. Your first start over this surface, and one that I similar approach to the one, except even more so. I kind of want to see one time over this surface before I get too excited about him.
And number 6, Sunny Beach Boy, well, that was the one that was second to Bold Bet. So doesn't he get some consideration also?
Yeah, I think for me, where I kind of he got lost in the mix for me is post six, right? Last time post four, got a reasonable second quarter breather, then a pretty soft middle half. It was no match for Bold Bet. I mean, you look at the two of those, the way they came to the wire. Bold Bet much better the two, and even though he's got the trailing post, I think he gets the better trip tonight than Sunny Beach Boy. So he kind of got lost in the mix for me. I picked him on top on that occasion. I thought he'd be the winner of those two last time, and tonight I just thought Sunny Beach Boy, might kind of be the one that gets lost in the mix from post six. And again, small share I think is very possible. You got to use them in your bottom end of your try and super. But again, I think that he should be every bit of that 11 to 1 right now.
And there you note we have a late scratch and 3 on the regular. So also the 6 and 7 get to move in a spot now. So a little bit better post position with the 3 on the regular out. And just overall, what do you think of how the tote board is laying out in this race right now in terms of the way you thought it might be?
Well, I'll tell you, I thought the Bold Bet would be better value again because of that second tier, right? I mean, as I said, many times, like I thought that, that's been a spot, post 8 obviously always boosts the odds. Post 9 this year, we've seen horses go off at inflated numbers, but no one's afraid to back Bold Bet right now. Maybe it's because everyone's jumping on the bandwagon after a couple of victories from that spot on Wednesday night. I would say, it's kind of shaking out the way I thought it would. I thought the 1 and 9 would take the support. I thought maybe it'd be reversed, though. I thought maybe the lines from Churro would have everyone jumping on the bandwagon of Hope and Pray, and he'd be the favorite. The horse that is really going up, going the right direction on the odds board is the 5, Highland Hot Sauce. I thought that there might be something there with this one. Definitely worth using in the exotics, if not maybe even a win ticket. 19 to 1. I mean, that's a big number on a horse that I think is not without a chance.
And right now, if you could freeze all of the odds, the one that I would be jumping on is 7 Money on the Beach, and it will be post position 6, and that's a pretty big closing effort last race. Left from an outside post, second beaten in nose. I mean, that's the half-mile track at Charlottetown.
Yeah, no, it is. It's tough from out there too. No question about it. You want to be, and it's also a track that you kind of it plays out fair. I mean, to be honest, it probably plays out pretty fair for a half-mile surface, but you still, I mean, I always want to be on the horses that are on or near the lead. And you're right though. I mean, the scratch of the 3 kind of changes things because even Sunny Beach Boy, right, a horse that does have speed off the gate, he showed it last time. Well, now one more spot in, not as difficult as a task, right? Maybe to ramble out of there and try to get the early lead. Probably why he's taking a little more support now, down to 8 to 1. Money on the Beach. I mean, I'm thinking that almost have to kind of take a hole tonight and try to trip out, but who knows? We've seen some early foot from that one as well. So maybe we see a lot of them try to leave out in the opening turn, but I think it's going to mostly come from the inside of the gate.
Yeah, and you might argue that Money on the Beach, that speed doesn't compare the last couple races, but a little further down the page, 55 and 4 at Charlottetown from post 1. So I just think it's an enticing price at 18 to 1. We'll see how it unfolds as we now have a field of 8. Hope and Pray, Redland Wrangler on the inside. In the center, it is Sporty B, Highland Hot Sauce, and Sunny Beach Boy to the outside. Money on the Beach, and all bets on Fritz in the second tier, Bold Bet. It's a field of 8 for race number 3. And the field for the third has reached the top of the stretch, and here they come. Field for the third is at the start of the rough, and Hope and Pray, Redland Wrangler, and Sunny Beach Boy is going to blast early. Sunny Beach Boy, Redland Wrangler, and Hope and Pray. Then Bold Bet from the second tier is going to get away, racing position fourth. Then Highland Hot Sauce and Sporty B. Then it is Money on the Beach, and back to All Bets on Fritz. But right now, Sunny Beach Boy and Anthony Hahn's got the lead. Hope and Pray is up and driving now, and then it is Redland Wrangler who's racing third, and now Hope and Pray is moving now for Tullamore, and Tullamore is looking to try to come on and get the lead, but Sunny Beach Boy is going to press on, and now Hope and Pray is going to be praying to find a spot on the inside in front of Redland Wrangler, but that appears to be closed at 27-3 opening quarter. Sunny Beach Boy, Hope and Pray has been left on the outside. Redland Wrangler is now up tighter, filling the pocket position, and then racing positioned on the inside. Fourth Bold Bet is going to pop out. Then Highland Hot Sauce and Sporty B. Money on the Beach and All Bets on Fritz, 56-3. It was a solid half as they worked their way into the backstretch. Sunny Beach Boy, Hope and Pray is still there, slugging it out on the outside. Redland Wrangler is third, and Bold Bet is in a good spot second over, and closing on the back of Hope and Pray, who's moving up and is only about a half length off the lead now. Bold Bet is sent out 3 wide. Redland Wranglers racing fourth, and Highland Hot Sauce and Sporty B. Way back, All Bets on Fritz and Money on the Beach, and it is Sunny Beach Boy continuing, but on the outside Bold Bet is looming, and Bold Bet is taken over. It is Bold Bet, Sunny Beach Boy, and then Hope and Pray and Sporty B, and racing fifth Highland Hot Sauce, and then it is Redland Wrangler, Bold Bet as they come on down the stretch drive, and Bold Bet, Sporty B. Bold Bet is going to win. Sporty B finishing second. Then Highland Hot Sauce came charging late, and Hope and Pray was able to stick around for a fourth, but Bold Bet from the trailer post, it was a solid bet. I wouldn't say bold because it's certainly a very good one, but the trip couldn't have worked out better.
No, it couldn't have. And, you kind of thought that that'd be the case again, right? Just get away off the gate somewhere, reasonable, and then come at them at some point in the mile. Obviously, maybe not expecting the horses to hook up like that through the middle stages as they did. Hope and Pray gets away kind of third off the gates. And then came first over at Sunny Beach Boy. A horse was intent on the lead and wasn't able to hold it again this time around. But Gary, the horse that you got to put on the watch list here. And I always try to jump ahead of it, right? 15-1 today. I don't think we're going to get that price next time. He was doubled up with all kinds, stuck behind horses, and flying late. That's the 5 Highland Hot Sauce. I loved what I saw last time from him in his lifetime debut, and I think he'll only get better with each and every start at the age of 5. Ends up finishing third here, but one, like I said, to mark for next time, but I don't think we'll get that same price.
Yeah, and a comment on Hope and Pray. I mean, that just once he popped out from third and took a shot at the lead and couldn't get there, he was kind of cooked.
Yeah, I mean, it still stuck around for fourth, right? Which actually I was kind of impressed by because I thought he might, end up fading right out of it. Look at that. It still looks like it's all my numbers on the board there, but doesn't help me because Highland Hot Sauce didn't get up for second at 15-1. But yeah, bold bet. I thought looked like the winner here, and Hope and Pray. I usually take that kind of wait and see approach with the horses coming in from the East Coast. Sometimes it takes them a little bit of time to get acclimated. To the racing in Ontario and over these surfaces, but I think Hope and Pray off that effort will be okay next time.
And the half really worked well too, 56-3. They went a good solid early, so that helps you when you're working second over.
Oh, it definitely does. Yeah, and this horse, he's pretty handy though too, right? I mean, he's showing that. He's a horse that wins first over last time. This time around, raced off a helmet. I think that this is good for this horse. He gets a couple of victories now, feeling good about himself. Looking forward to see what he does next.
Back in front of us is number 9, Bold Bet, a 3-year-old All Bet soft bay gelding, owned and trained by Kenroy Scaife. Jason Ryan, the winning driver. Second win in a row for Bold Bet. Second lifetime. 156-1. Bold Bet. The third race payouts 9, bold bet 540, 270, 290. 4 Sporty B, 390, 355. Holland Hot Sauce 830. $2 exactor 1540. Dollar try 53.55. Dollar super 154.70. The third race, or finish from the top down, 4-6 scratch 235-871. That is 4-6 scratch 235-871. Field 4, race number 4 is on parade. 1, Exotic Dragon, Ryan DeRocher, Jody Cullen, and Paul Sanders. And Travis and Ron Cullen. Number 2 is Escape the House, Brett McDonough, Taylor Fritz. Number 3, My Only Sunshine, Colin Kelleher, Kyle Boston, and Stewart, and Patricia Bolander. And number 4, Faithful's Nola, Garrett Rooney for Ernest Nucio. Number 5 is Goodnight Irene, Jason Ryan for Gord Remen. Number 7, Random Aragio, Travis Henry for John Kennedy and Valerie Phillips. 8 is EL Citadel, Anthony Hahn for Tim Jacobson and James Lewis. And 9 is Havarti 1, Daryl Thiessen for Ryan Stewart. Field of 8, race number 4. Well, we're both enamored with Exotic Dragon. I think it's that last race that really got us liking this one.
Yeah, it has to, right? I mean, that was such a big effort from Exotic Dragon. And, the thing about her, Gary, is that I said, before that, right? She got that bravening up trip, which these horses need sometimes. I mean, even, a horse like her with 22 career victories, over 275,000 made, she needed that bravening effort because she had gone some overland journeys, was first over, hard fought race in the top condition class here on June the 16th. She took support, by the way, to 5-2 in that race. And then last time, she was ready for her absolute best. She went to the front from post 2 and just dominated her rivals in the front end. And I think she does it again tonight in the pole position. I think the game plan, her horse is pretty versatile and can race from anywhere. With the rail, she's going forward off the switch, and I think she wins it again on the front end.
Number 5, Goodnight Irene. Well, last race, I think it just stroked it out, broken equipment. And look, the 2 previous starts, one here and one at Georgian Downs, they're both solid.
Yeah, Goodnight Irene is interesting, right? Because we know that she's got all kinds of back class, and that victory here off the bench. I mean, when a horse wins off the bench, I don't care what class it's in. It's always, something that's impressive. She got up by a neck on that occasion over Catch and Ace, who got a little bit tired late, and then came back with a solid effort at Georgia. And last time, she's got an excuse, right? Broken equipment, beat by a wide margin in the top condition class here against In the Mood and horses that, likely would all take support in this race today. She's 6-1 on the board right now. She's got all kinds of early foot. If that's the game plan tonight, it might be. And I think either way, though, you've got to merit or give her, respect underneath.
That race, Georgian Downs, July the 1st, that was a really solid effort because it left from an outside post and really had to work hard and yet was only beaten a length.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good effort against, a decent horse too. Rocking with Custard, right? Come out and play was the horse that finished third on that occasion, and eight hole there. Obviously 5/8 of a mile surface, and a little bit easier than the 8 hole here, but still a tough spot to start from. So I think she shouldn't mind at all starting from post 5 here tonight. And like I said, if she gets a big piece of it, I wouldn't be surprised.
Number 3, My Only Sunshine, a good measuring stick, June the 9th, preferred 2 class here.
Yeah, it was. I think that My Only Sunshine is one that you've got to be leery of in here, and that's why she's 3-1 right now. You see a horse that's kind of gotten class relief in each of her last couple of starts. She was in the preferred just 3 efforts ago. Was overland for part of the journey before finishing 4th. Second to Valley of Fear, who I know you were fond of, 2 back, and then last time it ends up rounding out the Superfect in a race won by Girl Scout Cookies. So I think that you've got to think she's got a chance in here, but I think if the same version of Exotic Dragon shows up, there's no one that has a chance in here. I think she'll be alone. But My Only Sunshine, definitely one you have to use underneath.
Well, Escape the House is one that gets onto the ticket because of there being a scratch. And I think you were enamored with this horse last race and didn't quite race as well as you'd like, but still one that's tough to leave right off the top 3 because likes finishing third.
Yeah, it was two back. I was enamored with her at 15-1 against your Valley of Fear, who went and dominated. Last time we both had Girl Scout Cookie, but I did like Escape the House underneath. Ended up fading back to third. The reason why you always have to respect Escape the House is that she's got tactical speed, and when she leaves from an inside starting spot like she's done on each of her last 2, she usually sits a favorable trip and she gets a piece of it. It's just a matter of what she can stick around for. 9-1 on the board right now. I think she's a horse you cannot leave off the bottom end of your try and your super. Can she win? I mean, I think that's probably a pretty difficult task in here, but I think she definitely gets a pretty big share of it.
I'm curious to see what Havarti 1 does. 35 to 1 on the board on the back of Exotic Dragon. And is one that has flashed once in a while, but long price, now 40 to 1. Taking up their positions, Exotic Dragon escaped the house on the inside. My Only Sunshine, Faithful as Nola. And Goodnight Irene to the outside, Random Miragio and EL Citadel. And the second tier, Havarti 1. It's a field of 8 for race number 4, and they are at the start. And they're off. An Exotic Dragon and Escape the House. And My Only Sunshine, well, things kind of got dark early with a break in stride. And they press on into the first turn. Exotic Dragon's got the lead. Escape the House is now going to take back and find the pocket. And racing third is Goodnight Irene. Havarti 1 got away fourth, and then Faithful's Nola and Random Miragio and EL Citadel. Exotic Dragon at 3 to 5 on the board leads as they race on to the opening quarter, and then it is Escape the House filling the pocket. Good Night Irene third, and then it is Havarti 1 and Faithful Nola, Random Miragio and EL Citadel, and to work the way off the turn, 27 and 1 opening quarter. Exotic Dragon, the 3 to 5 heavy favorite. Escape the House is right there sitting in the house in the pocket, and then racing third is Good Night Irene. Havarti 1 for now is staying on the inside. Random Miragio is working on the outside, and Random Miragio is going to be working first over, and then it is back further to Faithful's Nola and EL Citadel. It is Exotic Dragon as they work their way on down the backstretch. Exotic Dragon Escape the House is 2 lengths in arrears. Goodnight Irene, Havarti 1, Random Miragio, Faithful's Nola, and EL Citadel. And it is Exotic Dragon off a 57-1 halftime with a 30-second second panel breather, who leads, and then Escape the House is second. Goodnight Irene is third, and sharing fourth Havarti 1 and Random Miragio. Now popping out from third, Goodnight Irene is trying to close against Exotic Dragon, but Exotic Dragon is pretty sharp on the lead. Then Escape the House as they turn from, and Goodnight Irene and Random Miragio on down the stretch drive. Exotic Dragon is in front and cruising. Escape the House second. Then finishing third was a Goodnight Irene and Random Miragio to round out the top 4. Mile of 155 flat, 3 to 5 the board. Exotic Dragon pretty much as advertised and expected, Rob.
Yeah, she was. And you know what? It's one of those ones, too, where My Only Sunshine breaks off the gate. It makes it even a little bit easier for Exotic Dragon. It was a little bit of a charge from Goodnight Irene early, and it's obviously Escape the House, always using that tactical speed. But Ryan DeRoche just, punched on through and asserted their dominance in the early stage of this race. 27 to 1 to the quarter. That 30-second second quarter breather, and it was say goodbye to everyone else, because Exotic Dragons, she shows how sharp she was last time, right? That Bravening trip 2 back, can't say enough about that one, to kind of just get her feeling good about herself again. Goes out there and crushes last time, and now repeats up a class, and she might be on her way right back up to the preferred on the B tracks, where she's been more than competitive before.
Well, just a 5-year-old with 275,000, so you know that there's plenty of ability to move right back up the ranks, and of course we're in love with that barn as well.
Oh yeah, the barn obviously always fires on all cylinders, right? Jody Cullen and Ryan DeRoche, drives when Travis isn't here. So when Travis takes his talents to Mohawk Park, then Ryan picks up the drive, and he's been driving this one with regularity too, right? Each of her last 3 going into this one, and he's done a fine job. Like I said, 2 starts back, braving her up, finished third, and then now 2 dominating victories. And tonight you could see he was just sitting on an absolute mitt full. Just asked her to pace a little bit in the stretch, and she flew home.
It is a 1-2-5-7 top 4, race number 4. Back in front of us is the winner of race 4, One Exotic Dragon. 5-year-old Custard, the Dragon Bay mare, owned by Paul Sanders and Travis and Ron Cullen. Jody Cullen, the trainer. Ride Rosh, Baby Shark, the winning drive, is the fourth win this year, 23rd lifetime, 155 flat. The fourth race payouts: 1, Exotic Dragon, 320, 240, 280, 2 Escape the House, 630, and 370 and 5. Goodnight Irene, 370, $2 exactor, 1290, dollar try, 2880, dollar superfecta, 131.25. The fourth race saw her finish from the top down: 1, 2, 8, 5, 3, scratch 4, 7, 6. That's 1, 2, 8, 5, 3, scratch 4, 7, 6. Field on Parade 5, race number 5, one almost there. Boss, Jason Ryan for Dwayne Marfisi and Royce Roxton. Number 2 called in sick, Brett McDonough for Tim Myers and David Omacoli. Number 3 is Big Dream Fella, Paul McKenzie for Wayne McKean and Capers 3 stable. And number 4, Delightful Leader, Daryl Thiessen for Melissa Lamoureux. 5 is Sports Section, Colin Kelly for Francis Gilmet and Stefan Joffrey. And number 6, Dalhousie, Anthony Hunt for Jim Kerr and Bill Ramage. And number 7, Better Half, Denny St. Pierre, drives and trains and owns. 8 is Twin B Rise and Shine, Travis Henry for Francis Dumichel. And 9 is Somewhere in Tuscany. It is Laura Toscani, Steve Houdon driving for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. Well, let's get a look at this field, and right away, well, we have to go to called in sick. And Rob, in case you're wondering, that last race was a stable error, not scratched sick. Because you know what, when this one scratched sick 3 times in the career, 3 times a win in the next start.
I was just gonna say it. I mean, it's a horse that I don't know if I've ever seen that before, right? And such a unique thing is he's called in sick, and he's won off 3 vet scratches due to sickness, which is just absolutely wild. But there he is right now, a horse that I'm as you know, Gary, I know you are as well, very fond of this one. 9 for 17 last season, and this year just 1 for 8. But that victory came here at Grand River Raceway in this class, and was one of those ones where he kind of was building up to that victory. He scored by 2 lengths on that occasion, then came back and finished second to Santana Hanover, who has since moved on to the OSS Golds at the age of 3. So I think Calden Sick, this is a great spot for him. Getting back here at the river, looks fantastic on the track right now. Good post to work from. 5-2. I thought he would take a lot of support in here. I think it still might come for him. I think that's a solid price right now.
Number 6, Dalhousie, is one that's really tough to leave off the exactor ticket when you look at the record in the top 2.
It is. I mean, the time away is the only thing that you kind of have against him. Another horse, right? High percentage winner last year, 7 for 18, hit the board in 14 of those efforts. This year, obviously hasn't raced in a while, but 4 top 2 finishes out of 5 tries. He was a winner over this surface in early August last year, and really kind of progressed into a nice little racehorse throughout that season, and then into this one earlier in the year. So I think that he's one that you've got to be cautious of in here, even racing off the bench. You got to like it when there's 2 qualifiers to work with. They're both decent ones as well. A solid win over Clinton in the second place to finish over here, home in 27-4. Looks pretty good out there right now. Looks like he's in good shape, and I think that with the right kind of trip, he can be right there at the wire. I mean, I called in Sick and Dalhousie. I'm pretty sure they've met before too, and I think that it's kind of cool that they're meeting again. Obviously, Calden Sick, though, has the edge, though, fitness-wise.
Number 3, Big Dream Fella. You're not dreaming if you think this one has a shot, because that was really good last time out.
It was, yeah, and he's kind of shown that before as well. Now, this is obviously a tougher spot, right? He comes up against some horses that have been kind of knocking heads at this level for some time, even horses that have wins, in the owners of 3. So it's a bigger test for him, no doubt about it. And he's a 3-year-old, and against some older ones in here. Looks pretty sharp in the track, though, right now. Ears are up. It looks like he's ready to go out there and give a pretty big performance. And last time, Overland a long way before, really winning by as much as he pleased on the end of it, 28-4 as the favorite. I think he'll make a good account of himself again tonight.
Number 4, Delightful Leader, is one that gave me a big ride here June the 5th for a dominant win, but since then it's just been okay.
Yeah, he's been okay, and this obviously is now up into a tougher spot where he's picked up a couple of smaller shares in. Thought the effort last time was okay to be third to Ace of Aces. Obviously, that one's a real tough competitor. OSS Grassroots, and I think tonight for me it's just a smaller share. I think it's pretty snug, against the likes of Calden Sick and Dalhousie if he brings his A game.
Well, we'll see how it unfolds here in race number 5 and taking up their positions. Almost there, boss. Called in sick and big dream fella. In the center, delightful leader and sports section in Dalhousie. To the outside, better half Twinbee. Rise and shine. And the second here is somewhere in Tuscany. It's a field of 9. It's race number 5. Here they come. And the field for the 5th race. Gathering speed. And the field for the 5th race is at the starter off. Delightful leader. Almost there, boss. And Twinbee Rise and Shine is up early and driving. And then Called in Sick. Called in Sick is third right now. Twinbee Rise and Shine. Then somewhere in Tuscany, Big Dream Fella, sports section. Dalhousie second last and better half is trailing the field. Delightful leader at 19-1. Leads almost there, boss, as they race on to the opening quarter. Called in Sick is racing third. Then somewhere in Tuscany and Twinbee Rise and Shine and Big Dream Fella in sports section. And the trailing pair Dalhousie and better half. Delightful leader at a nice, delightful 19-1. Works on a lead in front of almost their boss. A length and a half cushion. Almost their boss racing second. Called in Sick is racing now angling to the outside, coming first up from third, and is quickly going to brush up on the outside off a 27-3 opening quarter to force the issue against Delightful Leader. Almost their boss is racing inside third. Then Big Dream Fellas on the outside, and somewhere in Tuscany on the inside in front of Twinbee Rise and Shine. And then it is back to sports section. Dalhousie is eighth, and better half is trailing the field. On down the back stretch to go, and Delightful Leader at 19-1 still has the lead, and Called in Sick is coming to call, but Delightful Leader still looks good on top. Almost their boss is on the inside third. Big Dream Fella now is moving up, and Called in Sick might have flattened out as Delightful Leader is driving on. Delightful Leader, almost their boss is second. Called in Sick, center of the track. Big Dream Fella sent out wide. Dalhousie is kicking in, and on the inside somewhere in Tuscany, and then sports section on down the stretch round they come, and that is Delightful Leader. Almost their boss up the inside. Delightful Leader isn't just the leader, but is the winner. Almost their boss was second somewhere in Tuscany, and Called in Sick 155-1. Delightful Leader at 19-1. Giddy up.
Yeah, big time win there for Delightful Leader. Daryl Thiessen, right? This horse goes to the front, Gary, and we always say good things happen when you leave at Grand River Raceway. 27-3 to the quarter. Nice breather, in the second panel. And Called in Sick had to go first over tonight. A horse that he can overcome that. You typically, but tonight ran into a buzzsaw with Delightful Leader on the engine at 19-1. Kept on trucking. And how about the winner of this pick 5 ticket tonight? $4,250 for a 20-cent ticket, finishing on the 4 Delightful Leader.
Well, we started off with a bit of a bang and ended it with a bang.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, right? When you're going to cash a big ticket, you start with a bang, end with a bang, because, typically I find people like to spread early or spread late. So when you get, or single early, single late. So when you get the bombs in one of those legs, usually it pays pretty well.
Yeah, and a lot of interest in Dalhousie early, but the money did rise up to 11-1, but probably needs a start. Just been off a while.
Yeah, I think for me and even yourself, we were using him based on his past credentials and the fact that we think he's a real solid racehorse, and I think he will be that again. But like you said, first start back, post 6, got away well back off the gate. I think he might need another start too before he's ready to roll. But I think it won't be too long before he'll be able to take on this group.
And then the 1 and 9, we get the inside, 1, 9, 2, 3, inside post all to pad the ticket, and the 9 at a price of 35-1.
Yeah, we always talk about that in these high fives, right? We always say you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, your 4 inside post, put the trailer on it. This is going to be tremendous, right? If someone has it, it's going to pay unreal. You've got the 3 to 5 shot finishing fourth, but you've got some nice prices, 1, 2, 3.
Well, coming back in front of us is number 4, Delightful Leader. 3-year-old Better is Delight Bay Gelding, owned by a numbered company from Alberta. Melissa Lamoureux is the trainer. Daryl Cheeson, the winning driver. It's the 6th win this year in Lifetime. Delightful Leader. And out trackside, we have the SA Waterloo Manulife Group. The 5th race payouts for Delightful Leader, 40-70, 11-40, and 9-10. 1, almost there, boss, 895.59, somewhere in Tuscany, 740. Dollar pick 3, 121.85. Dollar win 4, 423.55. We'll have a high five carryover of $2,584. $2 exactor, 190.80. Dollar try, 1,575.55. And note that 20-cent pick 5, $4,250. Kaboom shakalaka. The fifth race, or we finish from the top, 245 178 963. That's 245 178 963.
Delightful leader with the upset in race number 5. That sparked a huge payout for a lucky ticket holder of the early pick 5, $4,250 for 20 cents, and also a carryover into our super high 5 in race number 10. Carryover is going to be $2,584.08. Always a great wagering opportunity, that super high 5 with that carryover. Got to get involved in the finale tonight. We'll certainly take a look at that race and give you a suggested ticket as well before we get there. But before we get to that, we've got the late pick 5 starting right here in race number 6. And who knows, maybe we see another monstrous payout in this sequence. I played it pretty thin again, though. I did. I thought this one was pretty formful. We'll see if that's the way it plays out. I singled up on the one Twin Bee Nation here in race number 6. He was so good last time here. Now, granted, that was 2 weeks ago, so a week between starts have been missed, but it was a real dominant performance on the engine. Fought off Come On Artie, who I thought raced fantastic in that effort, and comes right back in the same class and looks like he can be a winner again from that same starting spot. So Twin Bee Nation, a single for me right here. Race number 7, just the 1 and 6. It's the one catch and ace, all kinds of speed from the pole position. Also using the 6 because I'm special. One that typically likes to race from off the pace. Not sure what the trip will look like tonight from post 6, but thinking that you've got to like that one. Getting some class relief here at Grand River after racing against Tougher at Mohawk Park. Race number 8, signaling the 5 St. Lad's Criminal. How can we not? He's won 5 in a row and done so with absolute condescending ease. Last time, 154 flat, didn't even break a sweat. I think he goes out there and extends his win streak to 6 tonight when facing off in the same class, going up against some horses that I thought there was a couple in there look interesting, but I don't think anyone can touch him in there. So we're singled on him in race number 8. Race number 9, well, that's that filly and mare's top pacing condition class. Almost plays out like a preferred tonight. Top earners drawing to the outside. Bad Rosa, post 2, coming from Mohawk Park. She's a speedster. I think you've got to like her chances, but you also got to like the horse on the outside of the gate. They're the ones that have been racing the best of late, and I think you got to use them. The 6, Salzburg Jessie, the 7, So Frisky. I think if she gets the right kind of trip, she can end up being the winner. She's probably the best one in the race. And the 8, Major League. Name of her game, though, is early speed. Post 8 doesn't always work out for that, but I think that's going to still be the game plan for her tonight. Race number 10, love the 5, TC Scandal. Last time got kind of a nightmarish trip before finishing 3rd on the end of it. That was from the trailing post, nose back on gate. I think she goes forward off the switch, and I think she emerges victorious in the finale. So $1.60 for my 20-cent late pick 5 ticket. Let's see what Conley has for us here. Let's see if Conley's going in the same direction as yours truly. Well, he is. He's got Twin Bee Nation. He's also using the 2 Crazy World. I don't mind that addition. Crazy World's been in fantastic form. Hit the board in all 12 of his lifetime starts. 10 of those in the top 2. So I don't mind the addition of that one. 1, 6, and 7 in race number 7. Race 8, he's singling the 5 St. Lad's Criminal. I think we're all going to be singling that one. Race 9, the 1, 3, 4, and 6. So he's using some of the inside horses where I'm sticking towards the outside of the gate, not using Bad Rosa. either, which I think that's one that's speedster that might be able to ride the bias that we've seen so far tonight. And then in race 10, he's adding the one Big Bad Mosa, who is a speedster as well, from the pole position. And of course, using the 5 TC Scando, who I think is going to be a hefty favorite in that finale. But you got to start mapping out your winning wagers for this late pick 5 sequence. Just a minute until the horses will be moving out onto the track for race number 6. We'll come back in just a few moments to take a closer look at this upcoming dash.
Field for the 6th on parade. 1, Twin Bee Nation. Anthony Hahn for Luke Blaine, Determination. Number 2, Crazy World, Garrett Rooney for Kathy Chikeen and John Chikeen. And number 3 is the Lonely Charlie, Jason Ryan for Tim Jacobson and James Lewis. And number 4 is Shanghai Kai, Lauren House for Scott McNevin and Kimberly McNevin and Donald Douglas. 5 is Doc's Rock, Ryan DeRoche for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 6, Murray's Watching. It's Travis Henry for Robert Kyle Fellows and M&S Racing. And number 7 is Come On Artie, Colin Kelly for Brett Lester and Diane Silvestri. Field of 7, race number 6. Let's get a look at this field. And of course, we have to start with 1, Twin Bee Nation, set up by Luke Blay. And, Twin Bee Nation, inside post should fit him very nicely again.
Yeah, it should. I mean, he was the easy winner right from this spot last time and did so at just 40 cents to the dollar, Gary. And I thought he'd get bet off the board again in here. I really did. And right now we're seeing him sit at 3-2. I think the money's going to come from late. I think it does have to go up against a pretty solid foe in the 2 Crazy World. But you can see what this one's done. I mean, even 3 back, second to Sobel Ace. Certainly like his chances against this group. And was already a winner at Mohawk Park before, coming over here to get the job done last time. So just the week between starts, that was the only thing that, I mean, maybe you kind of say, well, maybe take pause at for a moment, but Crazy World's coming back into this off a similar time frame as well. So I don't think there'll be any problem with Twin Bee Nation pushing out of there. I think he'll be on the lead either early or pretty quickly after that first turn. And 3-2 on the board right now looks like a decent price to me.
Number 2, Crazy World, is one that if you want to leave this one off the top 3, I think we know what you could call that person. Crazy.
Yeah, he's been racing fantastic, and you just mentioned it, right? He's at the board in all 12 of his career starts, and 10 of those in the top 2, 3 victories, and last time could not have been a more dominant winner at Dresden in the division of the Prospect Series. Beat It Takes Two in there, and Extra Cheese. And, has been, knocking heads against some pretty decent horses throughout those efforts. But I think that, he probably has met his match with Twin B Nation today. And I think that's why it's playing out that way on the odds board right now. I think we'll continue to see Twin B Nation go down there. He clicks down to 3-5 again. But I think Crazy World's the one you've got to focus underneath. And maybe if you're looking to get that one beat, that's the only one that I'd really want to side with. 7-2 on the board is probably about the right price. I think you have to demand value if you're going to try to beat Twin B Nation. But Crazy World certainly been fantastic so far in his career and might go out there and produce another big performance.
Well, if you're looking for some value, Murray's Watching was bet down last race off of a really good July 7th start here. Now climbs back up.
Yeah, and the thing about Murray's watching is that last time didn't do what he did the start before, in the sense he got away 6 off the gate and came from out of it. And we kind of talked beforehand, used so hard in that effort on July the 7th. He might need a softer trip. So he kind of got that journey last time. So he might be ready to do battle again tonight, but he's got to do it from post 6. I think he's got to go up against some pretty solid rivals, tougher than who he beat on July the 7th when he went that trip where he battled early, made multiple moves, and still ended up emerging victorious by half a length. I think he's one you got to use underneath in the exotics, but for me, it's the third spot.
You did say it, though. He made multiple moves. I was really impressed. I would not be shocked if he came up with a huge effort in here. And number 7, Come On Artie. This is one that was racing well before last race. Now, he fired out early, but just tailed off badly late.
Yeah, he actually, remember, he kind of drifted out, right, and let better half come up the inside of him on the final turn. Kind of a strange race, the way it kind of played out. But yeah, he shortened stride in a hurry after racing. I thought fantastic against Twin B Nation 2-back. He pulled first over against that one after, that one kind of got a soft second quarter and did battle in the third quarter and actually poked his head out in front before Twin B Nation rebuffed him in the late stages. So post 7 for me is just too tough now. Again, that's where he was that night that he finished second to Twin B Nation. But off that latest effort, I think you almost have to take one off with Come On Artie and maybe just use him underneath, maybe bottom end of the Trier Super. Still like the horse, like the connections, but I'm going to have to see him again before I'm willing to put him on top.
Well, right now, one Twin B Nation, our top one, as expected, set up by Luc Blais, has dropped down to 4-5 on the board. It's a field of 7 taking up their positions. It'll be Twin B Nation and Crazy World on the inside. In the center, Lonely Charlie, Shanghai Kai, and Doc's Rock. And to the outside, Murray's Watching and Come On Artie. Field of 7, race number 6. It's a field of 7 for the 6th race. They're gathering speed. They're at the start in the rough. Lonely Charlie, Crazy World, and Murray's Watching is going to blast out. Twin B Nation is going to get away 4th. Then Come On Artie. Then it is back further now to Doc's Rock and Shanghai Kai. Crazy World has got the lead. Murray's Watching, we're watching that one try to squeeze into the pocket and was able to do so in front of Lonely Charlie. Then Twin B Nation and Come On Artie and Doc's Rock and Shanghai Kai. Crazy World at 8-5 has got the lead, but Murray's Watching is watching from a good position, 27-2 the opening quarter. Lonely Charlie is 3rd. Twin B Nation is racing in mid-pack 4th in front of Come On Artie. Then it is back to Doc's Rock and Shanghai Kai. And off the turn they come, and the field works on towards us. And Crazy World off at 27-2 opening quarter. Looks for a breather in front of Murray's Watching. Twin B Nation now is going to grind up first over. Lonely Charlie to the inside. And Come On Artie is on the back of Twin B Nation. And then it is back to Doc's Rock. And back trailing the field, Shanghai Kai, half of 57 at 29-3, second panel. And it is Crazy World. But Murray's Watching looks alive in the pocket. Twin B Nation on the outside is about 4 from the front. And then it is Lonely Charlie. And Come On Artie and Doc's Rock. And then it is Shanghai Kai, Crazy World. Murray's watching Twin B Nation, and Twin B Nation now is 3 off the lead and angling out from the pocket. Murray's watching is in pursuit of Crazy World. Crazy World on the inside. Murray's watching giving chase, and then Lonely Charlie. Twin B Nation now is flattened out, and on the outside, come on, already on down the stretch drive they come. Crazy World, and Murray's watching. Crazy World wins it. Murray's watching was second. Then it was Lonely Charlie and Shanghai Kai. Crazy World. Well, the front end speed is holding up tonight, but the mile was legit. 153 and 2, Rob.
Well, this horse just come into his own, right, Gary? Last time, huge victory at Dresden. He paced his own mile in 52 and 3, 2 back at Georgian Downs, now 53 and 2 over this surface. That's a massive mile. It really is. And you can see, Garrett Rooney's got a ton still coming to the wire. This horse looks large and in charge. And Twin B Nation got steppy in the early going. Put some steps in, ended up kind of, having to get away fourth. And at that point, you could see he just didn't look all that fantastic. Even when he came first over, didn't really have any life tonight, not like he did last time, and never was really able to be a factor at all. But I don't think it would have mattered with this effort from Crazy World. I mean, he's a horse that has been great throughout his career, 12 for 12 in the top 3, but now he's showing he's a serious player. And that Prospect Series, I mean, if that's where he stays, I mean, he should be able to dominate his rivals in there.
Yeah, that start up at Georgian Downs in the Prospect Series, that was a really solid outing. That's a good mile of 52 and 3 there, and a good back half in that one.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah, that was, the one of the ones that jumped off the page at you, right? And you think, well, he's still following, though. It's not like he's winning in that time, but you're right. He was only a length away from it. And tonight, like you said, that's a legit mile, 53 and 2, and doing so with ease, right, as well. And he took support late. I mean, he got hammered down to be 8 to 5, still second choice at Twin B Nation. But I think it's still one that's going to probably be a decent result for the pick 5 for those who use them.
And Murray's watching was a much more aggressive horse in this start, as you thought might happen, and raced well.
Yeah, you figured it would have to happen because, like last time, right? He needed a softer journey after that kind of war that he was in on July the 7th. And, I mean, solid effort, right? Sit second throughout. Tried to kind of edge out to take a shot at Crazy World, but no one was going to have a chance at this one tonight. So, solid effort to be second.
And back in front of us is number 2, Crazy World. A 3-year-old control the moment, Brown gelding. On but John and Kathy Chikeen. Kathy Chikeen is the trainer. The winning drive to Garrett Rooney. It's the 4th win this year in lifetime for Crazy World. 153 and 2, a new career best. And also note, congratulations to Tina and Spencer. The 6th race payout to Crazy World, 520. 310, 276, Murray's watching, 590, 380, and 3 Lonely Charlie, 350. $2 exactor, $26.90. Dollar try, $32. Dollar super, $233.60. The sixth race order finish from the top is a 5134726. That's 5134726 on the bottom.
Well, crazy world with a dominating victory in race number 6. What else is crazy about tonight? Well, we've got a carryover in the race 10 super high five, our finale of the night. Carryover, it's a good one, folks. $2,584.08. And Chad Rosema, our raceway manager, just recently tweeted out it will be guaranteed at $7,500. So even more reason to play that super high five in race number 10. Huge wagering opportunity for you in the nightcap here at the river. Great way to kick off your weekend with a nice score in that guaranteed pool with a carryover in the high five. Late pick four time, though. Here we go. Low takeout, 15%. I'm playing it tight still. Just a 1 and 6 here in race number 7. I like catching ace. I think with the speed, what we've seen from speed tonight in this track, you've got to like catching ace's chances from the pole position. Because I'm special, well, bit of a closer. Not sure how it's going to play out here. 6-5 on the board right now. In race number 8, singling the 5, St. Lad's Criminal. How can we not? He's been too good to go against, and I think he just keeps on rolling with his 6th straight victory here at the river. Race number 9. Well, in
Pizza
that
guy?
race, we're going to
Pizza
have
guy?
Yeah, I think it is the pizza guy. I don't know. Jeez, margarita pizza here. Dogs are barking. My apologies, folks. It's not the wiener dogs. I was going to blame the wiener dogs last time. I could have done that last week. Can't do that tonight. 2, 6, 7, and 8 for me in race number 9, and a race I think that plays out kind of like a filly and mare's preferred. I want to be on the outside of the gate. Better horses are out there. That's the ones that have earned the most in their last 5. But the two bad Rosa again, speed favoring track. Give me her as well. Race number 10, the 5 TC Scandal. I think I want to see if Gary loves this one tonight. He loved her last time from post 9. I think you got to come right back to her. Nose on gate, post 5, all kinds of traffic trouble last time. I think she crushes in the nightcap, and she'll be on top of my super high 5, which again has a guaranteed pool of $7,500. But there they are for race number 7. They're coming out onto the track. We'll come back in just a few moments after the post parade.
Field 4, race 7 on parade. 1 catch and ace. Anthony Hahn for Rachel Andrew. 2 Treasures Gem. Paul McKenzie for Eric Wilson and Don Lesheed. 3 is Kickin' Cowgirl. Jason Ryan for Maria Helene DuPont and Sylvain Deschanel. And 4, Maddie's Credit. Colin Kelly for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider. 5 is Land of Paradise. Lauren House for Scott McNiven and Thomas Broadhurst and Bradley McNiven and Shirley Griffin. Number 6, Cause I'm Special. Scott Gould for Shane Barrington and Rick Breyer. Number 7, Broken. Travis Henry for Todd Ratchford. And 8 is Shemar's Lady Havoc. Daryl Thiessen for Peter Finnegan and Sheila Lewis. Field of 8 for race number 7. And Rob, you asked me about TC Scandal in the 10th. I'll tell you how happy I am with TC Scandal in the 10th. I would play a 20-cent pick 4, 6-5-2-5, and bang it multiple times.
Well, there you go. Hey, I'm good with that. I like it, playing it straight like that for a big denomination, trying to get, even if it just pays, relatively decent. You get it a bunch of times, it's okay. And I like that ticket, but, I disagree with you here, though, because I like the 1 catch and ace. Because, Gary, what have we seen tonight, right? We've seen a lot of early speed, and I know that she gets a little bit soft on the end of her miles sometimes, but I think that tonight, that bias might help carry her right to the wire. Last time she raced at this level, she went all the way on the engine, got caught late by Goodnight Irene. We saw that one, has come back to race pretty well in her last few efforts. And this one now gets the pole position to work from. All kinds of early foot. I think there's no question about what direction she's going off the gate, and that is to the front. 5-2 on the board right now. I think it's a good price in the 1 catch and ace.
I think you're right about catch and ace in terms of the bias, but you also said gets a little soft on the end, and at the end, that's why I took that one for second, because that just seems to be where she winds up. And listen, I also thought you were a card-carrying member of the Shane Barrington fan club, and you bailed on Shane.
Oh, I am. Well, I mean, sometimes it's situational, right? And I mean, I pick Shane more times than not, and I'm sure he sees that in the Horse Players Journal at Mohawk Park as well. Because especially, you're right. I mean, if you're going to look for a horse that gets soft late and a horse that doesn't, that comes on late, well, Cousin Special fits that bill. The problem is that how does she get there is my question, because she doesn't have a tremendous amount of speed off the gate. She's got to work from post 6. She gets any kind of traffic in front of her, I think she could be in big trouble here trying to catch the likes of Catch and Ace. And I think that, pound for pound, probably, the best horse in the race right now. I was just kind of terrified that the trip won't work out. So, Cousin Special, 7-5. No surprise she's getting bet down like that. But I'd rather have the horse on the engine than the one trying to come from behind.
Well, number 4, Maddie's Credit, is one that, needs a turnaround in form, but, gets a better post to begin that turnaround.
Yeah, this one's interesting, right? Because 2 back, I kind of got all over this one to get a big piece of it at 12-1. I think I even had her on top on that occasion. Got a perfect trip, eating your chops watching the race, and then just faded back to 5th. Last time, post 7, ends up, the way you expect it to go. Falls off the gate and ends up not really having much of a chance at any point. Taking support tonight at 5-1. And again, one that is capable of getting off the gate quickly might be able to work out a solid trip, maybe 2 hole trip. I don't think they're going to want to cut it out with her. But in any event, if she can rebound, she can be there with these 5-1. I think is a little bit shorter than I expected. I thought she might be more like 8-1, 9-1, maybe as high as 12-1. But she's taking support, Gary. So I think she's an underlay right now. But I think she's one you have to have in your exotics.
And then number 3, Kickin' Cowgirl, is one that's been really good in the past, but so far this year, facing tougher, just hasn't been able to get it going. But the talent's in there somewhere.
It is. There's no doubt about it, right? 18 lifetime wins, over 200,000 made. We've seen this horse do good things. Both at Mohawk Park and on the B tracks. And I thought last time might be a step in the right direction, right? And moving to a different barn, change of scenery, you might have this one going in the kind of trending in the right direction now. Again, I think getting the job done in here might be a big ask. I mean, she's 0 for 8 on the year with just 1 third place finish. But I think that this is a good spot for her to kind of just keep moving in the right direction. So I use her underneath the exotics. I think probably third or fourth is likely her ceiling. But I think that she's what we got to watch for next time at absolute worst. Just because moving to a new barn, good effort last time, and a horse that definitely has the back class.
One that I decided to use for third just because she's been closing well of late and seems to be really on a roll is number 7, Broken.
Yeah, Broken is one that, again, we go back to that effort, right? You go back to the start where she got hammered down to favoritism 4 starts ago, kind of threw in a clunker, but since then has raced well, but it was post 8 and post 8. Last time parked a long way, ended up being the runner-up to Exotic Dragon. Why couldn't I get there tonight? Back to the outside of the gate. I think that her only chance is to go near the back, try to race from back there, and the way that the races have gone tonight, I don't think it's going to really bode well for her.
Well, I do like your idea of being with Catch and Ace because you had to assume that 'Cause I'm Special is going to be the favorite, and the scenario would probably play to your hands with Catch and Ace. You get the scenario that fits and a price that might fit at 5-2, but I'm writing 'Cause I'm Special because I just think that 'Cause I'm Special is special enough here to live up to the billing. Catch and Ace, Treasure's Gem on the inside, Kicking Cowgirl, Maddie's Credit, Land of Paradise to the outside, 'Cause I'm Special, Broken, and Shimar's Lady Havoc. It's a field of 8, race number 7. There at the start of the rough. And it is Maddie's Credit, Catch an Ace, Treasure's Gem, Kickin' Cowgirl, Land of Paradise, and 'Cause I'm Special and Broken, and Shimar's Lady Havoc. But Maddie's Credit wants the early lead, and Catch an Ace is going to race filling the pocket right now. Then Treasure's Gem, Kickin' Cowgirl, Land of Paradise, and 'Cause I'm Special and Broken, and Shimar's Lady Havoc. Maddie's Credit and Colin Kelly at 13-1, rolling past the opening quarter. With a 27-3 opening quarter, Catch an Ace is second. Treasure's Gem is racing third. Then Kickin' Cowgirl, Land of Paradise, and 'Cause I'm Special and Broken, and Shimar's Lady Havoc now will start to the outside. They race off the turn. Maddie's Credit and Catch an Ace the top 2. Treasure's Gem, Kickin' Cowgirl. Now 'Cause I'm Special has moved out. And 'Cause I'm Special, well, part of the outer flow now. Moving up first over is Kickin' Cowgirl. Then Land of Paradise on the inside, Broken. 'Cause I'm Special is now third over. And then back trailing the field is Shimar's Lady Havoc. But Maddie's Credit, they're going to have to catch Maddie's Credit, who's on fire right now off a half of 57. Catch an Ace is second, Treasure's Gem is third, and then Kickin' Cowgirl and 'Cause I'm Special on the outside of wide, but has a lot of work to do. Maddie's Credit is still on fire as they hustle on towards 3/4. It is Maddie's Credit and Catch an Ace, and 'Cause I'm Special is rolling hard, but still about 7 or 8 off the lead. 3/4 in 125. Maddie's Credit, 'Cause I'm Special now has taken second. Catch an Ace is third, and Kickin' Cowgirl fourth, and they turn for home. Maddie's Credit and 'Cause I'm Special on down the stretch drive they come. Maddie's Credit and 'Cause I'm Special. Maddie's Credit is going to hold on. 'Cause I'm Special was a hard closing second. Then Kickin' Cowgirl and close for fourth, 154-3. Maddie's Credit was able to kind of get away on them a little bit, and we saw the pace scenario play out again here this evening.
Yeah, it did. Wanted to have the pace setter assumed it would be catch and ace. I thought Maddie's credit would be in the 2-hole. Well, I don't think it really would have mattered where those two ended up. Maddie's credit was on fire tonight, as you called it in the race call. Colin Kelly aboard. I mean, he's driven this one before to a good effort, 3 starts back, finishing third. And tonight, just decided to go to the lead and try to bottom out the field. And as we talked about with Cause I'm Special, though, right? Might get caught in traffic. That's what happened for that one. And that's why it's good to play Catch Me If You Can on the engine. Try to open up as much daylight as you can, because then you might just have an insurmountable lead when that one does try to get you in the stretch.
Yeah, because I'm Special, if you look at the move from about the 5/8 on, it was a very special move, but a 28-second third panel to open up some daylight also for Maddie's credit.
Yeah, listen, Cousin of Special race fantastic, and I think we said it, right? Thinking she's probably the best horse in the race. Problem is if she ends up too far back, she might not get there. And you're right, the move to come around them was a good one, but there was just too much ground to make up. She had to settle for the play spot. She was never going to get there with how much ground there was to overcome. Kicking Cowgirl, we said that one's one to watch. They're trending in the right direction. Finished third, Gary, at 14-1.
Well, you said it, and you had the right idea to play with the bias on your side. You just picked the wrong one for the bias, but the idea was right.
Yeah, the idea was right. I mean, we've got all the horses. You know, you said it to me all year. You say, hey, they're all there, Rob. They're just in the wrong order, but it's kind of important, right? When you're betting the race. I mean, for me, I need to catch an ace in there, faded back to fourth. But hey, Maddie's credit. It's a good effort for that one at 13-1.
Well, we had a fairly sizable pick 5 in the first one, and right now a 13-1 shot here in the 7th race. Maddie's credit, 10-year-old up the credit bay mare, owned by Colonel and Cassidy Schneider. Cassidy Schneider, the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning driver, second win on the year, 19th lifetime. Maddie's credit won 54-3. That's a new career mark. The 7th race payouts for Maddie's credit, 29, 10, 890, and 796. Cause I'm Special, 250, 340, and 3 kicking Cowgirl, 450. $2 exactor, 89.20. Dollars 5, 257.60. Dollar Super, 769.10. 7th race. Order finish on top 483 15267. That's 483 15267. Field for race 8 on parade. One Dressel ahead of our Colin Keller for Kyle Bossons. Number 2 is PL Quicksand, Jason Ryan for Matt Dupuis. 3, Aussie the second, Xavier Renault for Julie Walker and Leonard Gamble. And 4, Bet on It, Brett McDonough for Bob McIntosh. And 5, St. Lad's Criminal, Anthony Hunt for Lori LePage and Rebecca Williamson. Number 6, Speed Snip, Travis Henry for Mackenzie Spence and G. Smallman and Mike James and Brock McClellan and Dale Spence. And 7, Boomtown Boy, Paul McKenzie for Wayne McGee and Caper 3 Stable. Field of 7, race number 8. Well, St. Lad's Criminal 1 to 2 on the board. And if you had to bet which way it's going, I think I'd be bet going down. Look, St. Lad's Criminal has really just done it on his own, Rob.
Yeah, he has. It's been effortless. There's no question about it, Gary. And it's been a pleasure to watch this 5-race win streak, hasn't it? I mean, we saw this one kind of come into the river after a couple progressing starts at the Raceway in London. And ever since then has just been, showing that he's much the best every single time he's out there. Does this usually pre-race appearance, kind of skips around a little bit out there, but then come race time, he's all business. And last time he did it on the engine, right? So we've seen him race from off the pace before. He's even been a bias buster at times when doing it. Well, last time he took matters into his own hands off the switch and might do the same tonight the way the track is playing. But yeah, it's so hard to go against him. I mean, how do you do it? He's been out there, going faster than anyone else in this race has been going and doing it with absolute ease. So 1 to 9 on the board, wouldn't be surprised if he just.
Yeah, it just looks like that as he goes slower, he kind of has a bit of a bumpy gait, but it doesn't look like it. As soon as he picks up any speed, then he just smoothens right out.
Yeah, he does. He's one of those ones that knows when it's go time, right? I mean, we don't know what the ceiling is for St. Lad's Criminal. We've seen nothing even close to it yet, I don't think, and I think that we'll see him continue to progress. That mark that he took 53 and 4, that was a massive mile, and last time, he did it easy in 54 flat. So it'll be interesting to see what he does out there tonight. But I think no matter what happens, he's likely bound for the winner's circle once again.
Well, with a low price on the favorite, you got to get the exactor, and you went to 2 PL Quicksand.
Yeah, PL Quicksand, I thought it was a good effort last time to win by a neck. It took all kinds of support to 8 to 5. Has missed a week between outings, but he's won 2 of his last 4, and I thought looked like the best one to land underneath. The problem is he's 7 to 1, and when you're up against a 1 to 5 shot, that's a pretty heavy second favorite. So we might see that exact to be pretty small as a payout, which is no fun.
One Dressel Hanover did not get off the gate well from post 1 last start. In fact, you don't see early foot from this one the last number of starts, but inside post bias, you might want to get off the gate tonight.
Yeah, I think that you got to try to create some kind of speed because he's been left with a lot of work to do. I mean, that victory in the class below this, just now winners of 1 or 8,000 life, that was a good one, right? He came from 7th. He made a wide move in the final turn, and he was a going away winner. I thought we were going to see good things from Dresselhander after that. He missed a month of action, came back with a decent effort to finish 5th, and then last time it wasn't as good. But I think that tonight, he'll get put into play and should be in the mix throughout. 9 to 1 right now on the board again. Kind of the ones they're zeroing on underneath right now at 9 to 1 and 6 to 1. Dressel Hanover and PL Quicksand.
And 4 Bet on It. It's 6 out of 9 in the top 3, and it's Bob McIntosh. But he's just been good, but not great.
No, yeah, he's kind of been one that after he's kind of won his way out of those real cheaper classes, he's been kind of spinning his wheels a little bit. But the problem is we're kind of discrediting horses that are having to go up against St. Lad's Criminal, right? So it's hard to gauge it. Like he's kind of been a special one or an exception to the rule at this level for last start and the class before this, before that. So I think that maybe we're a bit hard on these ones that have been getting beat by him and by a wide margin. Bet on it, again, 6 on the board finishes at 9 tries. One that you've got to kind of use underneath in here. Does he have a chance at winning? I would say probably not, but I think hitting the try and super, he can do that.
Field of 7 for race number 8. Dressel ahead of her. PL Quicksand on the inside. In the center, Aussie the second. Bet on it. And St. Lad's Criminal to the outside. Speed Snip and Boomtown Boy. It's a field of 8 for race number 7. There at the start of the rough. And Dressel ahead of her dropped back at the start. And it is PL Quicksand and Aussie the second, the first couple to leave out. St. Lad's Criminal now is racing third. Then it is Bet on It and Speed Snip and Boomtown Boy. And Dressel ahead of her is way back early. PL Quicksand is not in quicksand early, has got the lead at 14-1. Aussie the second is second. St. Lad's Criminal is on the pylons racing third. Then it is Bet on It and St. Lad's Criminal doesn't want to get stuck on the inside third, so pops out right now. St. Lad's Criminal is going to come on and take the lead, and PL Quicksand is second. Aussie the second is third. Then it is a Bet on It and Speed Snip and Boomtown Boy. Dressel ahead of her. It is St. Lad's Criminal. 1-9 on the board. Who's got the lead? PL Quicksand is racing position second, and Aussie the second is third as they come up towards the half, and then Speed Snip fourth off a 28-1 opening quarter. Halftime was recorded in 59 seconds. St. Lad's Criminal. Speed Snip on the outside, working up a little bit closer. PL Quicksand on the inside is racing third, and Aussie the second is fourth, and then Boomtown Boy and Bet on It, and Dressel ahead of her. It is St. Lad's Criminal, and Anthony Hahn still on the bike and leads it by a length, and Speed Snip on the outside. PL Quicksand is going to move up tighter in the pocket, and then Dressel ahead of her, or rather on the outside, Boomtown Boy, and then Aussie the second, well back, Bet on It, and further back to Dressel ahead of her. St. Lad's Criminal off a soft half of 59 puts up a 127 and 3/3, and just is going to glide away on the field. Now PL Quicksand is trying to grab second from Speed Snip and racing for this Aussie the second. St. Lad's Criminal is going to win it rather comfortably in 55-4. PL Quicksand was second, Aussie the second third, and Speed Snip fourth, about 155-4. And we're going to have to wait for a snugger class, Rob, to find out where is the top for St. Lad's Criminal, because this class is not going to be it.
Yeah, it's got to be a while too, right? Before we see that, I would think. I mean, that's just a walk in the park. That's a paid training mile right there for St. Lad's Criminal. That was very impressive. Again, I mean, he does it every time. He goes out there and just dominates his competition. And Anthony Hahn, again, is coming to the wire with absolute tons. I mean, he's got a tight hold on St. Lad's Criminal, and he looks like he can go all kinds more. And we know he can. And I'm looking forward to seeing him step up the class ladder and take on some competition and see what he can do. But, I mean, it's been just easy as pie for him now, 6 straight.
Anthony sits in the bike like he's getting bored.
Yeah, he does.
It's like, okay, already. Like, okay. You know, the one good move, though, he gets away third. He didn't try to brush out from post 5. We saw him leave last time. But then he just knows, okay, but make sure you pull out right away, because you're not going to let a horse like that get stuck on the inside.
No, yeah, you can't. I mean, you got the best horse in the race, by a wide margin. And I like that, right? No sense in rushing off the gate. Just get away where you land, and no one's really going to tangle with them, because if they do, they know what that's going to do to their chances. You'll probably be left standing in the end, and you won't. So I think that again, Anthony Hahn's done a great job with this one. Bringing him along, and again, like you said, I mean, it's just he looks almost bored out there, but it must be a pleasure to drive one like St. Lad's Criminal.
It's a 5-2-3-6 on the board, and you did get the exactor of 5 and 2 as Aussie the second. My exactor pick finished third. Back in front of us, St. Lad's Criminal is a 3-year-old Control the Moment brown colt, owned by Rebecca Williamson, trained by Lori LePage, and Anthony Hahn, the winning driver, 6th win for St. Lad's Criminal in 8 starts, 155 and 4. The 8th race of Hayouts 5, St. Lad's Criminal, 210, 210, 210, 2 PL Quicksand pays 250, 210, and 3 Aussie the second, 210, $2 exactor, 450, the dollar try, 750, the dollar super, 32.65. Fans noting this 9th race, number 2, Bad Rosa. The driver should read Ryan DeRoche. Ryan DeRoche driving 2 Bad Rosa in the 9th. Eighth race, sort of finish from the tops is 7, 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 6. That's 723-5146. Field for race number 9 is on parade. One, Take Your Breath Away. Garrett Rooney for Daryl Laver and Randy Zock. Too Bad Rosa, Ryan DeRoche for Jody Cullen and Paul Sanders. 3, My Mother Pearl, Anthony Hunt for Ben Hollingsworth. 4 is Girl Scout Cookie, Travis Henry for Joe Pereira and William Johnstone. 5 is Wildcat Delight, Jason Ryan for Ron McDonald and Blue Shoe Investments. 6, Salisbury Jesse, Brett McDonald for Ron McDonald and Edward Gork. Number 7, So Frisky, Colin Kelly for Nita Willett and Luke Willett. 8 is Major League, Eddie Hensley for Ashley Hensley. It's a field of 8 for race number 9. Let's get a look at this field in a very wide open dash. And we're going to start with 7, So Frisky. Well, you've gone to an outside post position, but you certainly get one who's, kind of frisky this year, especially 12 out of 22 in the top 2 this year.
Yeah, and I think you've got to give her some respect in here, even with post 7, Gary. The last 3 at Mohawk Park has obviously been against tougher horses. And you look at that race third, 3 back, right? 4th to Snow Shark. And now getting back to Grand River, she was a winner in the Philly Mares Preferred 2 here on June the 9th and did so from off the pace in a race where Major League was chopping it out on the engine. I think, this race could play out kind of similarly. I don't know, Major League, I think she's got to try for the lead, and that's what she always does. And So Frisky, I think, is the best horse in the race. But problem is post 7, and we've seen a speed bias tonight, right? So I still think, though, that she deserves respect in here, and I'm shocked she's 5-1.
Well, and a speed bias could play nicely into my top one and your second choice, number 2, Bad Rosa.
Yeah, Bad Rosa is 5-1 on the board right now. I thought that she'd be taking a lot more support than that because she is a speedster. I mean, she showed that last time at Mohawk Park. She went to the lead from post 7, ended up only getting beaten ahead after getting relegated to the pocket. And again, the problem with her is, I mean, I guess she's missed a week, between outings. But if you go through, the history of her races, she's typically at her best when she gets forwardly placed. And I think that's got to be the game plan tonight. You draw inside of the river. How do you not blast out of there on tonight of all nights where speed's been carrying? So I think she's in with a chance in here. I do think that the horses that are on the outside, again, this race, if you've had a certain amount of earnings, if you fit the race based on the non-winners of 9,300 last 5 earnings condition, you had to draw to the outside of the gate. So the better horses are out there, but I think Bad Rosa has a chance to make a big impact on the inside with her early foot.
And Major League has enough speed to maybe try to gun to the front from post 8. That's his game, but we've noted in the past it does take a lot out of you.
It does, and there's no question she's got enough early foot to get around these. I mean, she is lightning fast off the switch. You can see those times that she posed the opening quarter, and she made the lead here from post 7 on June 9th in a Philly Mares Preferred 2. And that's why I'm kind of surprised that she's not getting more support, too. I mean, I know she got caught by So Frisky in that occasion. And yes, there's some speed to the inside of it. None of these horses have speed like she has. She's got wicked gears off the switch. And if she makes the lead, the way the bias is played out tonight, I mean, she can keep going with it. I mean, she's a classy mare in her own right. 31 lifetime wins, over 311,000 made. And, she's kind of a streaky type, too. I would have said if you take out her latest, she's not in her best form right now, but she won last time at Georgian Downs. She should be confident coming into it. Softer spot, but I don't think she's without a chance here, and the price is big at 8-1.
And the thing with Salisbury Jesse, I mean, it's post 6 and really good mare, but if you're going to go out to post 6 for Salisbury Jesse, you might as well go 1 or 2 steps further.
I think that's kind of what I was thinking when I put her in the 4th spot, right? Is that you look at Salisbury Jesse, if you're willing to go to that post, then how do you not go right to her neighbors who are So Frisky and Major League? These are the ones that all had to kind of work from the outside starting spots based on their recent earnings. And I think the Salisbury Jesse, we've kind of said we think she's back, right? She's kind of back to maybe her ways of getting back to being a high percentage winner. And the thing that's kind of crazy about it is she was victorious in this class last time. Now, granted, almost a month between starts. So you'd have to think maybe she's going to need to get this one on her feet, but I think 7-1's a big number on her as well. Girl Scout Cookie continue to take the support, Gary. 5-2 is the favorite.
And well, listen, we love Girl Scout cookies, and 5-2. But My Mother Pearl is also one that raced pretty well last race. But this is a tough spot. We'll see. But 9-2 on the board.
It kind of shows, right? We're talking about all these horses. Like my mother Pearl has been racing well as of late. We're talking to her now as what the sixth horse we're talking about. Look at the odds board too. Favorites 5-2, but there's not really much separating. We got one horse that's 18-1. Everyone else is below 8-1. So this is a competitive looking dash.
Well, you kind of had to figure when you looked at it all. You just saying like you could, everybody could be all over the place. But I like my idea with Bad Rosa. I know you like your idea with So Frisky, and you love 7-1. It's Take Your Breath Away, Bad Rosa, My Mother Pearl on the inside. In the center, Girl Scout Cookie and Wildcat Delight to the outside. Salisbury Jesse, So Frisky, and Major League. It's a field of 8. Race number 9. There, into the stretch, here they come. Field for the 9th race. You set the starter off, and Bad Rosa, Take Your Breath Away. Major League from the outside, and My Mother Pearl, they press on around the turn, Take Your Breath Away, and Major League is going to swing right up and grab the front, then Take Your Breath Away. Bad Rosa and Girl Scout Cookie, My Mother Pearl, Wildcat Delight, Salisbury Jesse, and So Frisky. Major League is on top, and Take Your Breath Away is racing second. Bad Rosa is on the inside third, 27-3, the opening quarter. And Girl Scout Cookie is positioned fourth in front of My Mother Pearl and Wildcat Delight. Then it's Salisbury Jesse, and So Frisky has to pass them all, but is going to start that journey right now and is coming on. 27-3 opening quarter, and Major League has rounded first base and heading to second base and leads it by about a length and 3/4 with Hurricane Hensley in the bike. Take Your Breath Away is in the pocket. There goes Bad Rosa now. Is going to work first over, half 57-2 at 29-4 second panel. And then Girl Scout Cookie is racing fourth. Salisbury Jesse saves ground on the inside of the turn. My Mother Pearl, Wildcat Delight, and So Frisky is still trailing the field. Major League at 6-1. Bad Rosa is going to try to grind down Major League and is about a length and a quarter back. Take Your Breath Away is racing third. Girl Scout Cookie, Salisbury Jesse, and then it is back to My Mother Pearl, So Frisky, Wildcat Delight, and it is still Major League. By third base in 126, and Bad Rosa keeps on digging. Bad Rosa against Major League, and then it is Take Your Breath Away and Girl Scout Cookie, but Major League slim lead. They turn for home. Bad Rosa on down the stretch where they come. Major League and Bad Rosa. It's going to be one of these two as they come to the finish. It is tight. It might have been Major League, but Bad Rosa is right there. It is a close photo finish. 155-1. Major League tried to go all the way on top, and we're going to find out if he did. What is your thought on that?
Oh, you ask me, right? My thought is, I don't know, Gary. It's close. That's what I know it is. And I mean, I always give the edge to the inside. That's just the way I always go with it. I see that, typically the inside has an edge, but let's see here. Let's see you get a second chance at it.
Yeah, actually, might be the two now that I saw it a second time.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, our resident expert on photos. I wonder if we're going to get a call from Christine here.
She's usually right.
I think it's the 8.
Well, Christine thinks it's the 8, but here it comes.
Ooh, I think it is 2 now. Yeah, I think it's the 8.
I should have just trusted what I saw live, because oftentimes, when I call it at the finish, I'd call more out of instinct than just thinking about it.
Yeah, it was an incredible race, though, wasn't it? I mean, we talked about Major League, win or lose there, that no one, it doesn't matter where she draws. If she wants the front, she's going to get it. And Ed Hensley, it was go time again. I mean, they don't take any weeks off with this horse. She blasts to the lead from post 8, and she got it relatively easy. That's what, when the half clicked up, I said, this race should be over. I mean, this is, usually she's out there battling it out, going wicked fractions throughout. And she got an easy go over the second quarter. And I thought that'd be enough to get it done, but maybe she's going back to the paddock, isn't she, Gary?
I don't think Hurricane Hensley knows, but just a second. Yeah, well, wow. He will be coming back, and, he stormed out like a hurricane and was able to hold on. It's an 8-2-1-4, and look at the price, 6-1.
It is, and it's a testament to the race and how competitive it was. For me, remember we talked about, we're the first place you kind of look when you start handicapping a dash. This race here, when you say that the horses with the higher earnings have to draw outside, that's the first place I look, is the outside of the gate. And obviously, Salzburg Jesse and So Frisky got lost in the mix, but Major League didn't. She blasts to the lead. And like I said, you give her a second quarter breather like that. I mean, for her, that's a big breather, even though it's 29 and 4. I mean, it might be race over. She's going to shut the door on you. Now, Bad Rosa fought valiantly to the end, but that's a big price on Major League 6-1 against this group. With the way the bias has been playing, I mean, again, like that's monstrous number. Girl Scout Cookie at 9-5. I didn't understand the support there, but she raced pretty well still.
And also, just I was watching just after the finish, you could see Hurricane Hensley having a discussion with Ryan DeRoche, like, "Did you win? Did I win? I don't know."
Yeah, it's it was pretty funny. He's going back. I mean, listen, it was that close though, right? I mean, we didn't know who won, so I guess it's pretty hard to see it out there too.
Back in front of us is the winner of race number 9. It's 8 Major League, a 10-year-old Gotta Go Cullen Bay mare. Ed Hensley and Ashley Hensley, the owners. Ashley Hensley is the trainer. The winning drive to Hurricane. Eddie Hensley. He rocked us like a hurricane. Ninth race of Hounds, number 8. Major League 15, 10, 8, 40, and 540. Two Bad Rosa, 550, 340. And one Take Your Breath Away, 320. $2 exactor, 103.60. Dollar try, 302.20. Dollar super, 1133.65. ninth race, or a finish from the top. 32547 That's 32547 on the bottom. Field for the 10th on Parade 1, Big Bad Mosa, Travis Henry for GRR, Demers, and Tag Incorporated. Number 2 is Wonderful World, Paul McKenzie for Todd Clements and David Sheehan. 3, Bookie Baby, Jason Ryan for Mitchell Tierney and Maxwell Racing. And 4 is Maryland, Scott Quiller for Shane Barrington and Alan McGregor. Number 6, Colossal Faith, Ryan DeRoche for Kyle Bossens and Martin Kepfer. Number 7, Lions Queen, Anthony Hahn for Rachel Andrew. Number 8 is Little T, scores from the trailer post, Brad McDonough for Taylor Fritz and Shen Go. And absent from the parade was 5, TC Scandal, Colin Kelly for Rafael Barassa and Francois Morin. Let's get a look at this field for race number 10. And we'll start with number 5, TC Scandal, who's going to join us shortly. But Rob, this is one that I fell for taking from the trailer post last time out and just had too much work, but really did race well after getting away poorly from the trailer post.
Yeah, I thought the effort was a big one, actually, after kind of getting lost in the mix from that second tier starting spot, which has wreaked havoc this season. We've seen more winners from it recently, but ended up getting away 7th, right? And we know that TC Scandal is best when, she's kind of put into play off the switch, and she got away 7th off the gate. It was a long way out of it, then kind of got stuck behind horses before moving wide and kind of just kept fighting to the wire. I mean, she was never going to get to Ray, who was a winner on the front end, but she kind of kept gaining on them and ended up turning in an admirable effort to be 3rd, beaten just 4 lengths. So I think this time around, nose back on the gate, we're going to see her be put into play in the early stages. Surprised she's 7-2 right now 3-1. She's a big favorite in the late pick 5, and thought that she'd take a lot more support vertically as well.
And Little T is one that could be a hidden value because people might not be noticing that it's the trailer post.
Yeah, I think that's one that you always have to take notice of, right? When there's something like that and you've got, for me, an also eligible drawing in, or when a horse has number 8 on, but they're racing from the trailing post. Now, we always have said this season it's been difficult to win from back there, but I'd rather have the trailing post still than post 8, even though we've seen more winners from it. It's just an easier spot to get away from. And in these high fives, we always talk about, using inside numbers, right? And we saw the one that actually sparked the carryover. It was the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 were the post positions that ended up making it up. And you can never go wrong, right? Kind of trying to stick with those numbers. TC Scandal now, Gary, taking support down to 8-5.
A couple others to get a look at. Well, we do like Little T, and Big Bad Mosa certainly could help Little T because Big Bad Mosa has gate speed.
Yeah, Big Bad Mosa's interesting in here because, this is a horse that, when she's usually at her best, she's going to the front. Now, she does get a little bit leg weary late in the mile. We've seen that a few times from her, especially here at the river. But sometimes a bias can, keep them strong right to the wire. And I think that this is probably going to be her best chance, right? Try to chop it out. Now, I think TC Scandal was probably going to try to come around early, and also a Wonderful World, the 2. So horse is blessed with a lot of early foot as well. So could be interesting to the first turn, but either way, I think Big Bad Mosa is going to either be cutting it out or at worst maybe sitting the 2-hole. Should make her presence felt. She's taking support, by the way, on the board right from the get-go. She's opened off as the heavy favorite. She still was 5-2 a moment ago, now 3-1. We see the favoritism now shift towards TC Scandal as we thought it would, but Big Bad Mosa is a big player in here as well.
Well, and you look at Wonderful World since June the 2nd, only twice has this one not been on lead at the quarter. That's one from the trailer post and one at Clinton from post 6.
Yeah, I think that Wonderful World is one in here that right now is kind of flying under the radar. 13-1. I thought the morning line might be generous on this one, and maybe that's because I kind of will always kind of fixate my eyes on the early speed, right? I mean, my top 3 in here end up being 5-1-2, and that was before we even knew there might be a front end bias tonight, because that's just typically where you want to be here at the river. So I think Wonderful World, like you said, post is better this time around. The only bad results you see on her program page are from tricky starting spots. I think she's got to play a part of this, and you've got to have her everywhere underneath in the high 5.
And at the front of the program, I have to list a long shot for the night. So I went with Maryland. in the 10th race. Well, you kind of bailed on your buddy and got this one back to 5th place.
Yeah, it's well, the thing with me with Marilyn, and by the way, my wife is like Marilyn Monroe's biggest fan, so just on name alone, she'd be playing this one. But this is a horse for me that I just haven't seen enough from yet. Obviously was a big time player out at Fraser Downs. Since coming over here, I haven't seen enough from her. Now this is an easier spot, so now maybe this will help her, kind of be a little more competitive. I just think a minor award is where I'd have her slotted in the high five, maybe fourth or fifth. That would be the ceiling for me with her right now.
Well, we'll see what the price ends up being because when you call a long shot, of course, you're just guessing. But I did think that those lines of a 6, 8, and an 8 in the past three might scare some people away. But of course, Shane Barrington has some strong numbers. Scotty Coulter driving. So Maryland is taking some action and it looks a little alive on the track as well.
Yeah, she does. She looks lively out there. You know what? The 6-1, the support can't be a bad thing, right? And kind of was taking it kind of later on too. But this is a great wagering opportunity, folks. This guaranteed pool, $7,500. Good carryover. Make sure you get those tickets in.
And well, right now, TC Scandal, the 6-5 betting favorite, is the one that we are both on off that good effort last time out. And of course, also just overall 43 wins lifetime. Big Bad Mosa, Wonderful World on the inside. In the center, it is Bookie Baby, Maryland. And TC Scandal to the outside, Colossal Faith and Lions Queen. And the second tier, Little T. It's a field of 8. For the 10th dash, here they come. Field for the 10th race is at the start of the rough. Big Bad Mosa and Wonderful World and Colossal Faith and Maryland. And on the inside, Little T. They charge into the turn. Big Bad Mosa's got the lead. And Colossal Faith and Wonderful World is second right now. Little T now is going to fill up the pocket from the trailer post and is right close, a length and a half back. Wonderful World is trying to find a seat on the inside and will get it third in front of Colossal Faith. Maryland is fifth in the early action. Then it is back to Bookie Baby. TC Scandal second last, and Lions Queen is currently lying eighth as they're past the opening quarter in 28-1. Big Bad Mosa and Travis Henry will now look for a second panel breather, and that is Little T on the inside. And now Maryland is going to flash those legs to the outside as they race their way off the turn and they come on towards us. And on the inside, Wonderful World is third. Maryland is racing fourth. Then Colossal Faith and Bookie Babe and TC Scandal has to pass them all but one. And Lions Queen trails the field 58-4 halftime, 30-3 second panel. It is Big Bad Mosa. Little T in a good spot. Maryland to the outside is grinding closer. And then it is Wonderful World and Colossal Faith is second over. TC Scandal is kicked in hard now, is sent out three wide and is rolling rapidly. They head on to three quarters. It is Big Bad Mosa. On the inside, it is Little T in the center of Maryland. And then to the outside, TC Scandal. Then it's Wonderful World and Colossal Faith. Big Bad Mosa still has the lead. Three quarters, 127-3. Little T has been getting the trip. Maryland is holding on to third. And Wonderful World and TC Scandal made a flat note a little bit on down the stretch. Route they come. Big Bad Mosa. And up the inside, Little T. Big Bad Mosa goes all the way on top. Little T with the trip finishing second. Then Wonderful World, Colossal Faith in Maryland. 157 flat. Big Bad Mosa, the speed bias was in play there again.
Yeah, and that's why we said you had to really take notice of her, right, Gary? Because, listen, she's a horse that does her best work on the engine. If she's got any kind of a knock, it's that she gets a little bit leg weary late. Well, the best cure for that is racing on a track where speed's been king, and it's been playing that way the whole night. And this is going to be a good high five because you get TC Scandal off the ticket. I mean, she's got no chance right off the gate. I mean, off the gate, she got away a long way back. And, I mean, when the half clicks up in 58-4, it doesn't matter what three wide move is going to be made at that point. She's got no chance. Now, granted, I don't know if she really had the pop she usually has off the switch, and she didn't really come forward with all that much authority when she tried that three wide move. But she was, up against it in the early stages.
Well, and also Little T, we said the I think the thing with the trailer post, maybe they're not the play to win, but they can be the play to get on the ticket, especially following out Big Bad Motion. Brett McDonald was really tight. He used that trailer post and got up close.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the key, right? Is that we talk about the trailing post obviously has had its woes here at the river this season, but having said that, it's still not a bad place to play one, especially underneath. And when you've got a speedster like that blasting out of there, and you can stay close to them. I mean, we used to see it a lot more than we do now. That trailing spot getaway, 2 hole, 3 hole at worst, and we're starting to see that again. But this was a race where looked like there might be a pace edge for some horses, and they end up really finishing, 1, 2, 3. The one that I thought would have been a bigger part of it was TC Scandal. We both liked that one, but really, if you were looking at speed types, they ended up kind of dominating the race, and it's going to pay fantastic with a couple of double-digit horses underneath.
Coming back in front of us, there is one Big Bad Mosha, 6-year-old Big Bad John Brown mare. Travis Henry, the winning driver for trainer Gerard Demers, the owner of Tank Incorporated, 4th win this year, 17th lifetime. Big Bad Mosha, mile of 157 flat. The 10th race payouts: 1 Big Bad Mosha, 620, 460, 360. 8 Little T, 10, 10, 372. Wonderful World, 510. $2 exactor is $74. Dollar try, 235.55. Double, 59.40. Dollar pick 3, 37.45. Dollar pick 4, 1100, 23.80. Dollar pick 5, 2400, 39.60. Dollar high 5 is $7,443. The 10th race saw her finish in the tops at 136.48572. That's 136.48572 on the bottom. That does conclude the live harness racing program. There's a look at the photo for 4th. Our next live racing event is this coming Monday, our first dash at 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, Christine.
Good night, Gary guys.